What is up, WhoDat Nation? Welcome inside another edition of the Straight Up Saints podcast, our watch party edition here. I'm your host, Chris Vogel, and as always, the Straight Up Saints podcast is brought to you by Scott Fickner Injury Lawyers. You've been injured in any kind of action, car, truck, 18-wheeler, hurt offshore. Scott Fickner handles it all. You give him a call at 504-500-1111 for a free consultation. They'll always fight for the win. The Saints getting started here. Falcons opening up here on a first down. Going to start it off with a run here to Bijan Robinson. Goes for about just 2 yards before he is tackled. So now that the first play is over, we're going to have a little break between the second play. I think before we get started, guys, as always, just want to remind you, if you have any thoughts on the Saints, comments, drop them in the chat, as always, as this game goes along. And if you guys are over here on YouTube, make sure to give this video a like. It greatly helps out the channel. We greatly appreciate it. So I think this is probably the most excited I've been for a Saints game in about a year, maybe 2 years now. Great opportunity to see what they're able to build off of that bye week against the Falcons team that's kind of reeling. 2nd and 8 now coming up here for Kirk Cousins. Another run to Bijan, and great run defense to start off this game. DeMario right at the forefront of it. So a 3rd and long coming up immediately for the Saints. And now shifting gears back to what I said before, big reason why I'm excited. I mean, look, let's not sugarcoat it. Last week we saw 2 weeks ago, really fun, really intriguing performance from Tyler Shough. And whether or not he's going to be able to sustain that, games like today will give us a good idea against a Falcons team that I know the record is not pretty, but a really good pass rush that Atlanta has. So how is he able to handle that? I think that's going to be really fascinating to see. And then offensively, Kellen Moore with an extra week of prep. What does that look like? We'll get a good answer today. 3rd and 8 now coming up here for the defense. Guys seem to get off the field real quick. Kirk Cousins drop back to throw, and it is incomplete. Saints forcing a 90-second 3-and-out to start this game pretty much. Immediate 3-and-out. Awesome start for Brandon Staley's defense. And that's kind of been a story too, a little bit under the radar here. Brandon Staley's defense starting to play pretty good football. And I know we're not going to see the dominance that maybe you'll see from other defenses around the league, but I'm going to go pull up the last couple of games and explain what I'm talking about here. So obviously before, you hold the Carolina Panthers to 7 points. That's great to see. Couple weeks ago, you held the Bucks to 23, and realistically, it's because you got no offensive production. So had you had a little bit of help as the Saints get the return to close to midfield, I think your defense would have looked even better in that game. And if we go back to that Bucks-Saints game, they only gave up 7 in the first half. So I think over the last couple weeks, take out the Rams game where they got dominated. You've had a team that forced a couple turnovers against the Bears and played decently well, a defense that did their job against the Bucks, and then holding the Panthers to 7 points. And while, again, I'm excited about the way the defense has played, of course, all eyes are going to be on the quarterback and what happens here with Tyler Shough. So let's see how this goes. We got a 1st and 10 coming up from their own 42. We got Tipton in motion, and they're going to get it started early with an Alvin run. He gets absolutely smoked after a 1-yard gain. What are we going to get from Alvin Kamara? Another thing to discuss today. Alvin's coming off his best game of the season, in my opinion, 83 yards on the ground, over 100 yards from scrimmage against the Panthers. Is he able to sustain that? We're going to see. And right here out of the gate, we got a turnover for New Orleans Saints. And not what you want to see. I just talked about how you're going to look after the bye week, and that's exactly what you don't want to see. So pretty shitty start, to say the least, for this Saints offense. We'll get the replay here as Kellen Moore kind of looks on in disbelief. Oh, boy. Yep, just looks like on the exchange between him and Kamara, just miscommunication, and it ends up being on the ground. Yep. Can't have that happen, folks. I'll tell you that much. Can't have that happen. Not what you want to see coming out of the bye. Not what you want to see. Yahtzee 2000 saying, God damn it, Kamara never had his eyes on the ball. Yeah, he didn't. Rough start for him, by the way. I just said, how is he going to look? We have the first play, he gets popped after a 1-yard gain. And then the loose ball right there. So not ideal. Not ideal for Alvin Kamara. Unk might be washed. It's the great debate, right? What is Alvin at this stage? I don't want to say he's definitely washed. I think that play was more of a concentration thing than anything. But yeah, not what you want to see. Not what you want to see. Got 1st and 10 here. Bijan is going to look like he's going to get popped in the backfield, ends up gaining about 2 yards. But so far, only through 3 plays. Saints run defense came to play at least right now. Whether or not that's going to hold, we shall see. But yeah, guys, not what you want to happen in that opening drive, especially coming off the bye week, extra preparation. Can't have that fumble exchange between Shough and Alvin. And the reason I say that too is that's the type of play where you want to put it on Shough, pin it on Kamara, whoever you want to pin it on. It can't be happening with the extra prep time because you're scripting that first drive. You know the plays that you want to run. To have that happen is just not ideal and at any capacity. Another run here, they're going to go with Bijan. He's going to kind of weave his way to about a 3-4 yard gain. So 3rd and manageable coming up for the Falcons. Yahtzee says they don't even use him like they used to in the passing game, so it's just sad to see him go out being used for 2-yard runs up the middle. I mean, 2 weeks ago against the Panthers, they did have a screenplay to him that I thought was very, very good. But, is that going to be a consistent thing, or is that just a flash in the pan type moment for the Saints, Got 3rd and 4 coming up. I mean, would be a huge win for the Saints if they get off the field here, but it's not going to be easy. Getting some pressure on Kirk Cousins and Chase Young with the sack. By the way, Chase Young, phenomenal season so far. He's been so freaking good for this Saints team. Worth every penny so far. And what a job by the Saints defense, by the way, because that sack, I think, is going to knock them out of field goal range. And even if they do attempt a field goal, we're talking about deep 50s. I know it's in a dome, but great play by Chase Young. Great play by the defensive line. And the defense as a whole. That's 2 drives already, not giving up anything. The Falcons are going to go for the long field goal here with Zane Gonzalez. It's going to be 56 yards. The kick is up, and that thing looks perfect. Quite literally perfect. And it is. These fucking kickers these days, man. These kickers these days just make it look easy. So 3-0 Falcons. Obviously would have loved for him to miss the kick there. But again, you can't really pin that on the defense. Defense did their job. I mean, literally the Falcons didn't gain positive net yardage on that possession. So gotta give the defense credit there for sure. Max saying as a quarterback, you got to put it on your running back gut, not his shoulder. Yeah, I mean, no doubt about that, Mac. I agree with you. Like I said before, though, the frustrating thing is this is a scripted drive. I mean, the next couple plays are going to be scripted as well, obviously, because you only got through two plays on the opening possession. Stuff like that just shouldn't happen. It's just, malpractice, if that's what we want to call it. God, we need a running back this offseason for sure. Can I make an argument they need 2? I can make an argument they need 2. And it has nothing to do, like, fumble aside. And even if Alvin was good this year, we don't know what Devin Neal is. We know what Kendra Miller is. As much as I defend Kendra Miller and as much as I like Kendra Miller's talent, the guy is never healthy. So it's very clear he is not going to be part of the long-term building in New Orleans. So I think you need speed at running back. I think you could also use a bruiser. I know Tyler Algier is a free agent. A guy like that paired with a speed back, I think would be pretty interesting. And it doesn't have to be Algier. I'm just using him as an example because he's a free agent and the Saints are playing the Falcons today. But they don't have a home run hitter on this team at the running back spot. And I look around the league and a lot of other teams do, and a lot of other teams have taken chances on players who, haven't had great careers and are having maybe a little bit of revitalization this year. I would take like a guy, for example, like a Javonte Williams in Dallas. He's kind of resurrected his career this season. So got to be a little bit more aggressive in terms of going after offensive talent in free agency. If you're the Saints. They don't have a starting running back on this team. Need a wide receiver 1, 2. Yeah, at the very minimum, you need another wide receiver that is talent-wise on par with Chris Olave, but a different skill set, if that makes sense. I think like having a dude like let's go with like Chris Bell from Louisville, who I think is a big-bodied wide receiver, can make really physical catches, good in traffic. A guy like that is someone who I think would be a nice pairing in New Orleans. You know, could obviously go sign a vet as well, but you know, I think getting younger would be the play. And if you look at the wide receiver market this year, it is not ideal. You know, that's up to Loomis and the airline flunkies, so we're screwed. Yeah, for sure. Like a Tet McMillan. Yeah, I mean, Tet McMillan would be awesome for this team. Would be absolutely awesome. Kickoff return coming here for the Saints. They're going in. Wow. And Mason Tipton, is he going to get one man to beat? And he's inside the 15. What a return. What a fucking return. I thought he was going to house that shit, but what a excellent return. Saints really, the Saints find some gems when it comes to the UDFAs. What a return from Mason Tipton. And he kind of just hit the hole and never looked back after that. Wow. I thought he was going to house that first sec. Zane Gonzalez actually did a good job getting in the path there. But Saints are going to have an immediate red zone opportunity. You got to cash in here. You got to cash in and make good here. You're starting from Atlanta 16. They're going to get it going with Taysom Hill. He's going to keep it for himself, and he is going to get stopped. I think they're going to mark him for about a loss of 1. So first play of Taysom, no dice. But immediate red zone opportunity, obviously great for New Orleans. What a return from Mason Tipton. And for the Saints, the last return I thought was pretty awesome from Tipton. Were pretty good, at least to start the game. This is interesting. Maybe be his breakout party, let's just say. 2nd and 10 here for Shough. Play action. And he's sacked. So that's going to be a loss of about 9. We're looking at, I think the Saints probably just running it and kicking a field goal here. So offensively, not what you wanted to see. And by the way, I said, I wanted to see Kellen Moore extra prep time. What does the offense got cooked up? And so far, they got cooked up a whole plate of nothing. Not great. Also, can we it might work late in the game, and I'm willing to bite my tongue on this or look like an idiot. I wouldn't mind if we just scrap the Taysom plays. 3rd and 17 coming up. Got to imagine you're going either a screen or something short. And they will go with the screen. And Alvin's going to get about 2 yards and stopped. So Saints are going to have to settle for a field goal. And isn't that kind of annoying after a great return to immediately do nothing? I mean, you lost yardage on that possession. Brutal. Groupie's kick is up. And it is no good. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. Please, for the love of God, cut this guy. Please. Please. What in the actual fuck, man? So you get a 75-yard return from Mason Tipton. You get into the red zone immediately. You lose yardage on that drive. And then your fucking kicker can't do his job. How many more kicks does Blake Groupie have to miss, by the way? How many more kicks does this guy have to miss before he's cut? Oh, boy. Quite frustrating. Yahtzee says, cut this fucking guy. I agree with you. Groupie, I'm not sad to say. Groupie on a chip shot. Fuck my life. Damn, terrible start for New Orleans, that's for sure. Such a Saints possession and outcome right there. It is. Absolutely is. Absolutely is. Really, maybe it's on me. Maybe it's on me. I was like, I'm excited for this Saints game. I want to see what this team ends up doing. offensively, extra prep time. But good Lord, I really start to worry about Kellen Moore and from a game, planning, from a strategical sense, what does he bring to the table? That is the great question. And I don't have a fucking answer for you because I don't really know. And I'm trying to be fair because, again, this isn't a great season for the Saints. It's Kellen Moore's first year as a coach. You could learn on the fly. But it doesn't seem like we're seeing a ton, And as for Blake Grupe, by the way, I'm just going to pull up the numbers real quick just to put into perspective how fucking bad this guy has been this year. He missed 4 kicks in 2024. In the entire season, in a 17-game season, he missed 4 kicks. He has missed 7 kicks this year. And mind you, we still got 6 more games after this, I believe. So he's been absolute ass. And I really don't know what the Saints need to see more out of him before making a decision. And I would argue that leaving Blake Grupe on this roster, it almost feels like a lack of accountability type thing. It almost feels like there's no consequences for not doing your job, because his job as a kicker is to make a field goal. And when it is a chip shot and it's in the 30-yard range, it should be automatic. Like, I shouldn't even have to look at my screen when that kicks up. I should just be like, all right, it's going to be 3-3. Like, it should just be an assumption. And it's not with this fucking guy, Good God, man. 1st and 10, Falcons at the 45. They're going to hand it to Bijan Robinson. He is going to get about a yard before he gets stuffed. Saints run defense, that's good, guys. You want a positive for today? Saints run defense. So far, they've been great. Everything else, not so much. Offense out of sorts. Special teams, I would love to say that return was awesome, and it was. Mason Tipton, shout out to you. But Blake Grupe, dog shit. Absolute dog shit. A good elite kicker could carry this team to a few more wins. People don't realize that an insane punter and kicker changes the game on you. I mean, yeah, you're flipping the field position and you're feeling like the field is shortened in terms of what you need to get points. As Kirk Cousins throws it to the outside, I think that I wonder if they're going to mark him just short of the sticks. Might be like 3rd and 1 coming up, 3rd and inches maybe. Let's get an extension, and being the AFC Special Teams Player of the Week just makes it so much worse. Yeah, they picked the wrong kicker. I thought in the moment what they did was fine when they went with Grupe over Lutz, but time has told the story, and the story is the Saints picked the wrong one, So many teams cut veteran kickers, and we keep trotting his 12-year-old ass out there. Yeah, like I said, where's the accountability? How many more kicks does Grupe get to miss before the Saints are like, hey, we got to fucking cut this guy? Just nuts. What do you think about the Cook stuff going on? Don't know if you addressed it already. I think they just missed a false start. Oh, they're going to catch it. Okay, thank God. So 3rd and 5 coming up. To answer your question, I think the Brandon Cook stuff is one of those where if they had a trade offer, anything for him, and they didn't accept it, and I don't know if that's true. I know there's been rumors about it, but let's say the Saints had a trade offer for Brandon Cooks and they didn't accept it, malpractice as an organization. As for the contract, the laughable contract that they gave out, 2-year, $13 million, guaranteed him about 6 of it. He has not done anything for the Saints. I still think there's a little bit of gas left in the tank, so they cut him. If someone claims him on waivers, it's a contender, maybe he'll do well. But for the Saints, it's one of those, like, why did we sign him in the first place? And then, good God, it took about 2 seconds for it to blow up in their face. 3rd and 5 coming up. Let's see if the Saints defense can come up big yet again. And I think we got another false start. And we do. So Saints crowd and Saints defensive line is doing their job. This has gone from 3rd and inches to 3rd and 10 without them even taking a snap. So don't feel the advantage if you want to call it, or maybe even the defensive line just get into the Falcons a little bit. That's great. Now you got them in 3rd and long, and let's see if the Saints defense can answer the call. They've answered the call already twice. Let's see if they can do it again. His team had way less patience with Lutz after a few missed field goals. Lutz just had a bad stretch. Grupe has never been that guy. No, and Lutz was that guy. So, like you said, they didn't have patience with him. And then Grupe, who hasn't established anything in the league, they have grace with him. 3rd and 10. Cousins takes the snap. Cam Jordan getting a good rush. It's a fumble. Cam Jordan forces the sack. And the Falcons are going to recover, but the Saints are going to force yet another early punt here from the Falcons. Shout out to Cam freaking Jordan. That man loves playing the Falcons. It don't matter what age he is, what season. If he's playing the Falcons, this dude is coming up big in that spot. Great rush, great pursuit the entire time by Cam Jordan. Would have loved for him to hop on that fumble, but it doesn't matter anyway. Defense has done their job. Defense has absolutely done their job so far in this first quarter. Dominant so far. I know the score says 3-0, and I know we're only 9 minutes into this game, but they are legitimately, go look at the net yardage. They're dominating this first quarter so far. See if the Saints could flip field position here with Tipton a little bit. And I think actually Pettis might be returning it here. He gets slammed at the 14. So Saints are going to have a long way to go. We'll see what the penalty yardage is. Might get even longer. That's what she said. But offense has to show me something here, man. Offense has to show me something. It is holding on the Saints. That's going to back them up even more. Not what you want when your offense isn't moving the ball. But hey, look, the offense couldn't get anything done when they were at the Atlanta 16. So maybe backing them up, a little reverse psychology here, we'll get it going. I swear Kirk Cousins' flak jacket gets bigger every year. Also, why does he need one? They're inside. I don't get it. Gonna need a return touchdown to score. It might feel that way. Ed says Cousins the perfect quarterback statue. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you want this defensive line to just pin their ears back and go after the quarterback? Great opportunity today to do that, you know? And honestly, no knock on whoever felt this way, because there's no right or wrong answer. But when Penix went down, I know some people were like, oh, well, you know, Kirk Cousins might play better. I know there's 3 quarters left. Kirk Cousins could make some big plays down the stretch. There's no doubt about it. I was like, man, if you're watching the Falcons, you think Penix is the problem? I don't know what to tell you. Not saying Penix is any good, but coaching is the problem for Atlanta. So now you put in a really immobile quarterback who hasn't started a game in almost a year. I don't know. Like, that part I felt good about. It's not going to mean anything if the Saints offense can't do anything today, but defensively, I felt like this is a pretty good matchup for them so far. What happened to Carl Granderson? He started the year so hot. Yeah, hasn't done too much, man. He did force the false start a couple plays ago, so if we want to give them a little credit there, you guys are more than welcome to. But yeah, not a whole lot of wow factor from him. I think defensive line wise, though, you know, Chase Young's been outstanding, so I haven't really talked much about Granderson. But yeah, I think, look, Granderson to me was his best year. Still felt like he was overachieving, whereas a guy like Chase Young, who's playing really well right now, I think he's playing to his level of talent. If that kind of equates for you guys. Hell Mendoza says defense is playing inspired. I love it. Yeah, I mean, you know, just like I'm a little frustrated with the lack of creativity from the Saints offense right now, the Saints defense is playing really, really well. Brandon Staley clearly, with his extra prep time, has done a great job. And the thing about what this defense has done, if they're able to continue neutralizing that run attack of the Falcons, they're going to have multiple opportunities each quarter to kind of go after Kirk Cousins and make him play and make him pay. So how frustrating is it? And bleak being a Saints fan, knowing the main issue of this team isn't the roster, it's the front office. Could put Mahomes on this roster and the front office would still suck. Yeah. Don't disagree with that. It's a weird spot to be in, right? Because as a fan, you want to, you know, think about the stuff that'll make you excited, but it's tough to get super excited when shit like this is going on. Can't watch now. How bad is it? Offensively, it's been really bad. Defensively, it's been really good. So 3-0 right now. Still time. 1st and 10. They're going to hand it to AK. AK is going to gain about 5 yards to start this drive. Not a bad run to get this going. Get some breathing room too. Get out of your own end zone a little bit. Drew Brees at the Dome. Not really good luck post-retirement. No, I feel like every time Drew Brees at the Dome, they get their teeth kicked in. So let's scratch that and let's change up today. Although he was in the Dome earlier this year when they beat the Giants. So take that for whatever that might mean. I don't know if it means much, but he was in the Dome for that win. But they usually do get their teeth kicked in. 2nd and 6 coming up. Another run here with Alvin, and he is going to gain about 5 yards. Going to be 3rd and 1 coming up. Very short one, too. Got to convert here. Got to keep this drive going. Get your defensive breather, and Lord knows they've earned it. AK's visor is looking extra sleek today. And they got Taysom in, which is funny because I literally said before, can we just cut the Taysom nonsense out? And I honestly wouldn't have minded if they just ran under center on that on that 3rd and 1. Now you get a little predictable, ridiculously high snap. And I think Taysom's still going to get the first down, which God bless Taysom because that snap was about to get sent into the end zone. Good Lord. Oh my God. They'll probably show a replay, but where are we sending this snap? Holy shit. Good catch by Taysom. And then to immediately kind of tuck your head down and go get the first down. Not bad. So they'll keep the chains moving. Fresh set of downs here. Got to get something explosive on this drive. Got Taysom lined up in the backfield. Right next to Shough, and motion him out wide left. So we're going empty here. And that pass gets swatted at the line of scrimmage. So, again, not much from this offense so far. 2nd and 10 comes up. And I get it. Look, Atlanta's got a good pass rush. That's a really good blitz off the edge right there. Alford slapping that shit away as it looks like it was targeted to Vele. But who knows, right? I mean, the fucking Vele experiment's been something, all right. But at least that was a design target. 2nd and 10. Got AK in the backfield next to Shough. Looks like we got tipped in the slot. It's going to hit Olave, and Olave takes a hard hit, but he's going to get the first down. Great play by Olave right there. Also, Saints fans, how are we feeling about the black helmets, black jersey combination? Because I'm not minding it, actually. I used to be like, I wish they could match the goals, though. I think that's kind of driving me nuts. Going to get another throw here to Olave. Olave is going to gain about, this one's going to get come back on a penalty. I think it's coming back on a penalty. Would have been about a 5-yard gain. I think Vele is going to get tagged here, but let's see. Which, by the way, what is the motherfucker good for is the question. What is he good for? 2 picks, by the way. 2 picks for Vele. Yeah, that's a clear as day hold. He might as well just rip his jersey off and put it on himself. And also, if you need to hold Alford, who's about like 50 pounds less than him, not great. 1st and 17 now. So, you get 2 first downs. You're feeling a little bit better about the drive and immediately backing up to the 22 here. Shough's going to take the snap. Really good rep by Kelvin Banks there. They're going to hit it out wide to Alvin. Alvin's going to, oh boy. How the fuck is he okay? That looked to be a hip drop tackle. I'd love to see that on a replay again. I don't know how Alvin got up. Great rep by Kelvin Banks, by the way. No, I thought on first glance it was, but it was clean. That former Saint Caden Ellis with the tackle. That looked pretty scary. I hope Alvin's all right. They're looking at him on the sideline, but it's tough. It's tough to tell with Alvin. And Atlanta's going to challenge. I guess they're thinking it's a fumble. All right, let's hope it's not, or else Saints defense is going to be put in yet another shit situation here. Really, really rough go so far. Man, this is bleak offensively. All right, let's watch the replay here. Caden's dragging him down. I think it's simultaneous. I want to say it. I want to say his knee's down. More importantly, is Alvin okay? Because that shit looked quite nasty. I think his knee's down first, though. We'll see. I think when it's bang, bang like that, though, I'd imagine you stick with the initial call. I'm smart enough to know better, though, that I'm smart enough to know better that the NFL always comes up with interesting shit. So Alvin Kamara's heading to the injury tent. Not really surprised. Got absolutely bent. I hope he's all right. That looked quite disgusting in terms of just visually seeing what that was. Also, just reminding myself through Twitter, it's nuts that Blake Grupe is a captain on this team. Like, imagine one of your captains just like never doing his job. Like, where's the accountability in that? I don't see much of it. I just hate these east-west plays, like throw it north-south. I mean, I hate it too. I mean, look at the success they had 2 weeks ago. Look at the success throwing downfield, being aggressive. None of that. And this seems like a lot of smoke and mirrors. And quite frankly, the only thing that's smoking right now is the hood of the Saints car right now. It is not looking good. And again, there's a balance to it, right? And I've said this before. There's a balance to not wanting to say, hey, we got to fire Kellen Moore. He sucks. And also pointing out that this should not be the product coming out of the bye week. And again, there's 3 quarters of football left, and the Saints will have plenty of time to make me feel better about this team, or maybe worse. We'll see. But as someone who has been saying for the last couple of days, like, I am not very confident in Kellen Moore, but he could earn my respect with a really, really nice start. I just don't see it right now at all. At all. And it seems like the call on the field is going to stand for the Saints. At least that's what's being reported. We'll see what happens. And we'll wait for an update on Alvin. My guess is that Alvin will be fine because, the dude somehow plays through a shit ton of injuries and they show him on the sideline with his helmet. So is it fair to say Tyler's not the guy if he can't get a win today? No, absolutely not. I don't think that's fair to say. Look, if he plays poorly, like we'll start to discuss the negatives and whether or not he'll be able to bounce back from it. But to say if he doesn't beat the Falcons, say he's not the guy, no. Because what if the Saints win this game 9-3? Would that make you feel like he's the guy? Absolutely not. So, I think it's more so how he plays, how he looks. Wins and losses, you want the win, but I think it's how you look. To me, that's how you look. How do you come out of the bye looking like you took 3 steps back on offense? I wish I knew, Robert. I wish I knew, but that is my complaint, man. That's absolutely my complaint. 3rd and 8 coming up for New Orleans. Big play over here. Devin Neal lined up right next to Shough. I feel like this might be Olave territory, but we'll see. Got Juwan Johnson streaking across the field. He's going to dive and catch from Juwan. It's about to be 4th and 1. My guess is Kellen Moore is going to punt it. He is not the type of coach to be aggressive. And yeah. Kellen Moore loves to punt, man. Loves to punt. See if the Saints can maybe flip field position here. And it's going to be down to around, inside the 20, so that's good. Field position-wise, you did flip field. Wasn't the prettiest of punts, but it's going to be down at around the 13. So that part is good for the Saints. That part we'll take. First quarter almost done here. Offensively, God, man, I still can't get over how bad this product has looked so far. Also, what the fuck is Isaac Yedem doing on that punt? It didn't really process for me in a sec, but let that ball roll a little bit more, man. What's your fear that the Atlanta player is going to scoop it off the floor and go? I think that'd actually be a good thing for you. Saints really have no receivers today, Ed says. Mason Tipton's your 3. Vele's your 2. Not a winning formula. Not a winning formula. Stanley was definitely working in the bye while Moore Staley was definitely working in the bye while Moore was just showing all 32 in front of the camera. Might not be wrong, Xavier. That might be wrong. 1st and 10, 17 seconds left. So last play of the first quarter coming up. You're right, though. Defensively, Saints have looked awesome. Offensively, they've looked like absolute dog shit. Going to be play action here. Cousins has his man deep, and it is caught by Kyle Pitts. Huge gain to end the first quarter. That's what I kind of get for saying Saints team has been great, but they have been. First big play they give up, and that's going to end the first quarter. So Saints are going to be trailing 3-0 when we begin the second quarter. Really nice throw by Kirk Cousins there. Good catch, too, by Pitts to get that ball away quickly. But all right, First quarter in the book. Saints haven't looked good. Let me get through some comments that you guys have here. Kellen scheme sucks so far. Yep. Kellen is a fraud. Horrible show for having a bye week against a shit team. Johnson catching that just pisses me off. No, he's going to have a crucial drop at some point that hits him right in the head. I did actually think about that, you know? I did think about that. Hey, I'm a big fan. Well, thank you. I appreciate that a lot. You release Cooks and trade Shaheed. You have no receivers outside of Olave. This team is tanking. I don't know if they're tanking. I mean, I don't know if you heard. Gail Benson said we have Luke Fortner. We're not tanking. That was a good acquisition. So maybe Kamara should consider retiring. I would if I were him after the season. Whether or not he does, different story, but I would consider it. Where the hell was Trey Palmer? I was excited for him to make some impact. Is he still on IR? He is still on IR. I think it was a shoulder injury for Trey Palmer. I can't remember what he had. Or maybe the shoulder injury was Polk. Hamstring and ankle injuries for Palmer. Polk had the shoulder injury. Yeah, he's still sidelined. I don't know when we'll see him. That was kind of a buy low type move right there. But you would love to see him on the field. I mean, you don't love what they got out right now. I mean, like I said, Tipton's your 3. Vele's your 2. I think Vele being your 2 might be more egregious than Tipton being your 3. Mark my words, if Kirk Cousins wins this game against the Saints, will be the reason he has a job in the NFL another 5 years. It's possible. I mean, I think he's going to have a job anyway, even if it's his backup. But, yeah, I mean, this would be the type of game if he, let's say he plays well and they win, I could see someone taking a flyer on him. If you're Minnesota, you'd take him back over what J.J. McCarthy's doing, that's for sure. Our offense makes everything look so difficult. Yeah. I mean, I was going to use a different word for what they make it look like. But, yeah, no, you're right. Every play seems like a challenge. I honestly would like to think this was just first quarter getting the rust out, but I don't think that's the case. I just think this is an offense that genuinely struggles. What kind of watch are you rocking, Chris? A sub. I'm rocking a sub. This is one of the most undisciplined Saints teams I've ever seen. Yeah. I mean, that was a big complaint I had early. It's dimmed a little bit. But early in the season, one of my biggest complaints was with Kellen Moore was the penalties were through the roof. Thoughts about Spencer Rattler on what should we do with him? Keep him where he's at right now. I think there is value to having a proven backup who can start in Spencer Rattler. That said, if let's say Shough looks decent and a team like the Vikings comes knocking on your door and says, hey, 5th round pick, 4th round pick for Rattler, do you do it? I don't know. I mean, that's a discussion that we could have at a later date. But as of now, I think there is absolutely value to having Rattler still on the roster. I mean, he could play football. He started many games. I think there's value there. 2nd and 6 coming up for the Falcons. I'll get back to your comments in a sec. Got another bootleg here. Saints send 5. They don't get home. And great freaking play. Great play by Pete Werner, man. And I don't say that often. I don't get to say that often. But that's a rare great play by Pete Werner at an opportunistic time. Looks like the Saints will still be in the running for the 2026 first draft pick. I don't think one win over the Panthers changed that much. Now, look, if they win today, maybe that changes it up. You know what? I got to take that back. I thought it was a great play on Pete Werner. Kyle Pitts just dropped the fucking ball. So I'm gonna take that one back there. God, we need some weapons not called Chris Olave for sure. Shaheed was mediocre this season before the trade. He hasn't played well in Seattle either. Pressure there on the throw. See, to me, that can't be a first down. That cannot be a first down for me. Kirk Cousins throws a fucking shrimp po' boy up in the air, and that thing gets hauled in for a first down. That can't happen. I mean, look at this ball. That thing's floating. It's floating in the air. God, that ball must have traveled like 10 miles an hour. I'm not even kidding. God, man, Darnell Mooney loves playing with Kirk Cousins. He did absolutely shit earlier this year, but now he's playing well. 1st and 10 coming up for the Falcons to see if the Saints can make something happen here. Run with Bijan and DeMario with the tackle. Gain of 1. Run defense has been good. Shough has a few more games to prove himself, or we need a quarterback in the draft. It depends how he plays, and also depends what the board is. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if the Saints just don't go quarterback next year and like either Shough or Rattler starts. Probably would be Shough, and you get like an Arvell Reese on your team, But again, let's see how he plays. I think we gotta have some grace there with the next 6 games after this. 2nd and 9, they're going to throw it out wide to Bijan, and they miss. This might get housed. And they bring him down inside the 10. Disappointing, man. Disappointing is the word I would use for this performance so far. And defense has been still good. This is one bad drive so far out of 4. But you might be looking at 10-0 against an Atlanta pass rush that is their strength, to be quite honest. And it could get pretty bleak there. You had a chance too to bring Bijan down. Just you missed that opportunity. That window opens up quick. 1st and goal coming up for Atlanta. Piss poor tackling for sure. 33 got juked. 1st and 10, and Pete Werner is going to bring Bijan down. Bijan took him for a ride for a sec, though. It's like both LSU and Saints are cursed to have bad offenses this year. I mean, Saints, it's like a struggle to get to 20 freaking points, man. And the funny thing is, I remember, might be like a couple months now, Drew Brees was on Fox. He was saying, like, if you could score 24 points a game as an offense, you're always going to have a chance to win. I'm like, that seems like a low mark. And I felt like that seemed like a low mark, too, because, like, we've seen Drew, lead some dynamic Saints offenses. But now you watch this offense and you would kill to have 24 points, 2nd and goal coming up. Kirk Cousins throws the end zone touchdown. Good Lord, man. Kirk Cousins is fucking beating his chest in the dome. That's embarrassing from the Saints. Embarrassing stuff here. I don't know why. I don't know why this team likes getting cooked by Kirk Cousins. I don't know if this is their fetish or something. But, yeah. Lante Taylor got absolutely fucking barbecue chicken cooked right there. Not great, guys. Not great. All right, so it's 10-0 in a game that, frankly, I thought the Saints would look pretty decent in. So far, not so much. So far, not so much. Oh, man. Brutal. Falls into Kirk Cousins against the Saints. He really does. He really does. He had some swagger to him after that touchdown pass. Humiliation fetish. It seems that way, no? I mean, good Lord. You quite frankly, Falcons look dead and out for a while. And, yeah. They were picking on Alontae the whole drive. They did. You are right about that. Got picked on the 3rd down that went to Mooney. Got picked on that play just now. Not good. And like I said, guys, how do you look after a bye week? Yeah. How about look like complete ass? That's kind of how it's been. And to be honest, I'm not even going to give this excuse. I was going to say, like, hey, maybe if the Falcons are full strength, they don't have Drake London. This team, is on the verge of maybe firing their head coach, losing they lost their last 4 games, I think. If Falcons haven't won a game, excuse the fuck me. Holy shit. Falcons haven't won a game since October 13th. Why did I think their losing streak wasn't that long? Shame on me for thinking that. So Saints are going to have to make something shake here, or it could get pretty ugly quickly in this one. And again, doesn't help when you have a kicker who can't do his fucking job. And Yeah, it's always going to be tough sledding if that's the case. Quite frustrating, man. 5-game losing streak, I believe. Yep, 5-game losing streak. Lost to the 49ers, the Dolphins, the Patriots, the Colts, and the Panthers. That was the 5 games right there. Of course, we start playing like this when the series is tied. It's just typical. Like, you start to get a little bit excited about what this Saints team is bringing to the table, and then this is the result. And it's just quite frustrating, man. It's quite frustrating. We'll see, though. Still got time in this game to make something happen. Got to imagine you want maybe a shot here to Olave at some point. Got to figure something out. What's going to be their excuse for not firing Groupie this week? I don't know. I mean, at some point, you know, the can't even blame the reporters. Now everyone likes to go, well, why aren't they asking? They're asking, man. If he doesn't want to cut him, he's not going to cut him. That's it. Saints get this down to the 27-ish with Pettis there. We play 4 bottom barrel teams in the last 6 weeks. I can tell you confidently right now that most of those poverty teams would give us belt to ass for 4 quarters. Some of them could. Like, I'm going to be honest. The Dolphins with Achane and Waddle, that could be really dangerous. Jets are starting to play competitive football. It's not winning football, but it's competitive football. Panthers, we'll see in the rematch what happens there. But, you know, this is just an ugly product right now. This team looks like they're on vacation. Going to start off with play action here. And, you know, Shough gets out of the sack. And Moreau drops it. So, what the fuck did this team practice? Seriously, what the fuck did this team practice during their bye week? Rough, man. This is about as rough of a third possession now? First 3 possessions we got going on here? Got to end around here to Mason Tipton, and he's going to pick up the first down. God, if he read his blockers, he might have actually had a little bit more, but Tipton looks fast, man. That speed is, you know when there's a difference between like the 40-yard speed and the game speed? The game speed just seems a lot more electric from him. Did take a shot at the end of that one. Hopefully he's okay. But Saints going to pick up the first. Play action here. And Jawan gets popped out. A little bit of a hospital ball. Just a little bit. 2nd and 10 coming up. AJ Terrell might have gotten hurt on that. Not sure what it could be. It looks like he's grabbing his ankle. Can't really tell there. Can't really tell on that one. Saints going to take a break here till AJ Terrell's all right. 2nd and 10 when they get back on the field. Got to get some points on this drive. Got to get some points. All right. Sign Jimmy Graham, Eddie says. Lord knows they could use him. It really is crazy. This offense doesn't have a lot of playmakers. I mean, honestly, they have one that I trust in Olave. That's it. Fred saying Tipton's showing some juice. He is. He is. And any juice is welcome with this team because they need it. But, you know, I don't know why this front office doesn't like investing in skill position players. I mean, tight end group is weak. Running back group is maybe weaker. Can I make an argument? Like, which one is a weaker group? I don't know. You could say, well, the Saints have Alvin at running back. What does that mean in the year 2025? It's tough to say. So outside of Olave, you don't have much. You traded 2 picks for Vele. I'm beating a dead fucking horse at this point, but Vele is terrible. Rashid Shaheed has not been good for Seattle, and it's not a knock on him. They have not utilized him correctly. It just feels like they want to use him as a running back and just have him taking jet sweeps instead of just using his speed downfield, because it seems like only their deep shots are allowed to go to JSN. But yeah, when you're bad at tight end, you're bad at running back, you don't have a wide receiver 2 or 3, this is like sometimes the product you're going to get. Now, counter argument, 2 weeks to prepare, your coach schematically should be able to come up with like easy hitters for this offense. Right now, the Saints' 2 biggest plays is an end around from Mason Tipton and a punt return, and you're not scheming the punt return. So, I need to see more from the coaching staff. And I know, again, beating a dead horse, I get it, and I apologize for that. It's got to be annoying hearing it multiple times. But you need to see signs of a great coach, and we are still waiting to see said signs. I like Eli Stowers from Vandy for looking for skill positions in the draft. Yeah. I wish the Saints were in a position, by the way, where they could take a Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame, because I think he'd change the fucking franchise in terms of like immediate impact, but they are not in position to take a running back in the first round. So I'll have to sideline that. Second down coming up. Hey, a throw to Vele. Would you look at that? Would you look at that, Devon Vele? Let Vele cook? Maybe something? Probably nothing. Good throw by Shough. On time. That's what you probably got to use Vele's big-ass body for anyway. Going to get a run here with, I believe that was Devin Neal. I'd imagine Alvin's like seriously banged up. Still on the sideline. I'm guessing his day's over? Or is he going to test out running? Looks like he's testing out running. How'd you feel about taking Nick Harbor in the middle rounds? I like Nick Harbor. That's another. And did Shough just go into a sack? Oh, boy. I like Nick Harbor. I think Nick Harbor is a home run hitter type wide receiver. I mean, you watched it 2 weeks ago, Texas A&M, 80-yard touchdown just in the blink of an eye. I have no problem with a guy like that. I think Nick Harbor would be a good player for them. 3rd and 13. Shough's going to throw deep, and I think Olave had to play defense there. That's a great play by Olave, because that looked like it was going the other way. Not a good throw from Shough. Saints are going to punt. Offenses look like a nightmare right now. And Jeff Ulbrich has Shough in hell. He's got this offense in hell. Good, another good rep from Banks, if you guys want one positive there. Not a good throw. Great play by Olave, though, genuinely, because that might be going the other way for 6. You never know. Saints are going to punt here. They're going to need their defense to get a stop at some point early, so they could maybe have some good field position. Let's see if Isaac Yedem fucks up again on the coverage. Why was that not fair caught? What the fuck? All right. Quit running up the gut. You know they're going to do it, man. Lord have mercy, Olave was a DB. He really was. Great pass breakup by Olave. Great pass breakup. We need to let go of Dwayne Johnson and Taysom Hill and Dwayne Johnson and Alvin. Those guys deserve better. I mean, for sure. I mean, deserve better. Yes and no. I'm not gonna act like they don't deserve better. I also don't know, like, where can I put Taysom Hill and him actually have success at this stage in his career? Alvin probably can have success elsewhere, but what is the ceiling for Alvin now at this stage in his career? I really don't know. And that's not a knock on Alvin. I love Alvin so much, man. He is a Saints legend in every sense of the word. But I don't know what the ceiling would be for him. I really don't. Olave could probably play better than Alante based on that play. We'll see. The Broncos would take him. They would take him. I just don't like, what is the ceiling though for Taysom Hill? He's not, the mobility is kind of gone. Maybe I'm wrong for thinking that. He's in his mid to late 30s. He came off a major ACL surgery. I don't know. Like, I just don't know how much better he's going to be as a player. Cowgirls are getting blanked out. is the score of that game right now? 21-0. Nice. Nice stuff. Kellen Moore's scheme is trash. It does not look good, that's for sure. This team feels like those late-stage Washington Commanders, Ron Rivera teams. That is a interesting pull, and I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. It's not a bad pull. Not Saints related, but the Cardinals head coach looks like he hates puppies and babies. Jonathan Gannon, man. My favorite thing about Jonathan Gannon is like in the middle of a Cardinals game. I don't know how many Cardinals games you guys will watch, but they'll do something catastrophic and they'll just like pan over to him and he's just going. And like there's nothing comes out of his mouth. He's just going like this on the sideline. Saints suck. Yeah. Unfortunately. God knows this defense needs to stop. If they're down 17-0 early against the Falcons, you could pretty much book it. So far, the offense gets an F. Yep, for sure. Alvin Kamara is heading back to the Saints locker room. Yeah, so his day's probably done. Doesn't that fucking suck? Doesn't that suck? Do we think Bell falls to round 2? I mean, we'll see. It's so early. We got so many months before we get to draft. I will say it seems like he is Algier is going to get a big gain there. It seems like he is in that late first, early second range, which because the Saints are probably going to pick towards the top of the board, that second round pick of theirs is probably going to be like 35, 36, 37 in that range where, let's say you are worried about that. You could probably trade back into the end of the first round and get him, if that's what we get to. 2nd and 2 coming up. This does not feel like a good script for the Saints, by the way, at all. 10-0. If the Falcons get their run game going, I don't know. Not going to be pretty. Big run here for Algier. He gets all the way to the 40. Not a good game script right now, man. Not a good game script. You might be staring, 3 possessions down and a team that, quite frankly, the only thing Atlanta wants to do is pin their ears back and go for it. So could be looking at a little bit of a danger zone here for the Saints. Just a little bit. 1st and 10 coming up. Bijan still on the sideline. Algier's got to be leaving Atlanta after this year, right? I feel like they're probably not going to pay a premium when you got Bijan. Another run here with Algier. He gets stonewalled by Stutzman, but it kind of met at the summit. It kind of leveled each other out. But 2nd and 9 coming up. It's still the Falcons. It is. And look, even if they go up 17-0, doesn't mean the game's over. But, I mean, statistically, the Saints don't score more than 17 points. And, again, no Alvin. It can get a little uncomfortable for the Saints. I would argue it's already uncomfortable with the way this game is right now. Got to pick that off. It's intercepted by Reed. He's going to get to the 40, to the 30, to the 20. This is going to be a pick 6 if he doesn't. And it is going to be a pick 6. Hell fucking yes for the Saints. They're right back in this game, man. Right back in this game. Justin Reed with a pick 6. Would you look at that? Need a little bit of a spark, and the Saints get it with Justin Reed. And they get that right back with Justin Reed. They're back in the game. 10-6. We'll wait for the groupie extra point. Got no confidence that it's going in, but man, did New Orleans need that. Wow. Look, man, defense hasn't always been pretty, but so far, if you just look at the numbers, out of 5 drives, 1 of them has been bad for them in terms of results. Helen Keller with 0 to do with the score. Helen Keller more. You actually did something, yeah. I called it earlier. You said Justin Reed pick 6? Or pick in general? That's all. Did I miss that? Great call, though. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Defense was like, we're tired. Well, now they're going to get back earlier. I literally said pick 6 earlier in the chat. Oh, I got to go back and pull that up. Give you your flowers. Great call, by the way, then. Absolutely great call. Was it? It might have been when I was talking about the here it is. Honestly, if we don't get a pick 6, I'll be disappointed. Kirk is throwing ducks. Shout out to you, good sir. Shout out to you. I'm going to leave that up for a couple of seconds. Let you bask in your glory. Guys, this comment was made. Let's go back. This comment was made 20 minutes ago. So shout out to you. Bask in your glory. I want to make sure you get the credit. Great fucking call. Saints need to go after Love in the draft. I mean, I would love to see him there. But positionally, I just don't think they're going to do it. Justin Reed out there running harder than 99% of our offense. Yeah. Crowd needed that for real. They did. They definitely did. I'm at work in the back eating lunch, and my coworkers literally had to come check on me because I'm screaming in the back. Oh, man. Hey, look, the Saints-Falcons game, it's going to do that to you. It's going to do that to you. Are we going to take some shots downfield? I think they're going to have to, but they're also going to have to give Shough time to let those routes develop. So far, pass rush has been pretty good. But yeah, I mean, I think you're going to have to. You're not going to run the football. You didn't run it with Alvin. You're going to run it without him. I doubt it. You do have to use Devin Neal, though. That's for sure. Saints are saying Alvin Kamara is questionable to return with a knee injury. Sounds about right. Also, what a drive for Danny Stutzman, by the way. Had the early stop on the run. And then he got the pressure on that pick 6. So, great drive by Danny Stutzman for him, possession-wise. And obviously, Justin Reed, great play on the ball. And to return it 49 yards to the house is pretty awesome. Saints' first interception return for a touchdown since October 8th, 2023. Tyrann Mathieu, last player to do it. Let's see if the defense can get another quick stop here. I mean, wouldn't that give you a little bit of momentum? And, imagine potentially being tied at the end of this first half, given the circumstances of how bad it's looked. Brian says Danny should be starting. I don't necessarily disagree with that. I kind of love the idea of just getting as many of your rookies on the field, seeing what they could do, especially this season as the return gets out to the 36. Because, what are you playing for? I know, obviously, you play to win the game. I get that. Shout out Herm Edwards. But you're also playing to see who's going to be building blocks or potential building blocks. And I think getting Danny Stutzman on the field as much as possible is just great for this team. And now, by the way, you don't want this. You don't want Alvin being down. No Alvin means you have to use Devin Neal. What's he going to do now? This is a big opportunity for him. 1st and 10 coming up here with 6.5 minutes left in the first half. Ball at the Atlanta 36. Got to imagine you're running it early, no? I mean, are you putting it right back in Cousins' hands after the pick 6? And they are. Okay. Cousins going to roll out. He's going to throw it to the flat, and that is going to be a 2-yard gain. Maybe 3. So 2nd and 7 coming up. Pretty good tackle by Alante. Not too shabby. Anyone think it's hilarious that Groupie played at Notre Dame and looks so much like their mascot, stature and all? He does. He moonlights as the mascot. He's going to throw it over the middle, and that is going to be caught to the 50, to the 45, and wrapped down to around the 43 in Saints territory. So Atlanta's on the move here. Even these throws, I know they're supposed to be like a soft touch type throw, don't get me wrong. But it just seems like Kirk Cousins just throws like a 5 mile an hour ball. And I know that's got to be, a layered throw, but it just looks like it's coming in so slow. 1st and 10 here at the New Orleans 43. Going flea flicker. No pressure right now. They're going to throw it out. Got to make the tackle, and they don't. So it's going to be a gain of about 3. I believe that was Chris Rumpf who missed the tackle. Got to make that fucking tackle, man. Walltown Best says give Neal the run the rest of the game. I mean, they have to by necessity now with no Alvin. You have to, you know? Can't tackle to save our life. Nope. They cannot. That's a play you want to bottle them up early. I mean, 3 yards, all right, you live with it. But another play, I mean, everything's been a bootleg for Cousins so far. He's going to throw it out wide to Algier, and he's going to pick up 3-4 yards. It's going to be 3rd and short coming up. Atlanta's just spamming play action right now. Spamming the shit out of it. It's like when you're playing Madden and they give you the option to just run the same play again, it just feels like that's what they're doing. Got to start making tackles, though. I mean, the Falcons are picking up extra yards after the catch here. 3rd and 2 coming up. Gotta, you know, they might run it here, especially because this could be 4-down territory. But would love to see, if they throw it, see some pressure on Kirk Cousins. But I would not be surprised if they maybe go with a run, considering this could be 4-down territory, but we'll see. And they go with Bijan. Oh, Bijan, he might take this to the 20. And a big gain for Bijan. Almost a red zone opportunity coming up here. Saints defense have been a little Jekyll and Hyde right now. You know, got the pick 6. Now, this has been a drive where they're getting gashed. I'd say it's, you know, could be fatigue, but quite frankly, they weren't on the field last drive much before the pick 6. This is a great jump cut from Bijan. And obviously no contain there once he breaks it. 1st and 10 from the New Orleans 23, I believe. Kyle Pitts in motion. You're going to take the snap, throw it out wide to Pitts. That seemed like that was going to be a hospital ball for a sec. Gain of 2 coming up. Saints are going to have an opportunity. Obviously, just even time-wise, even if the Falcons score here, Saints are going to have an opportunity to have another drive to end the half. You got to show me something, man. You got to show me something because to me, this is as ugly as the first half that I can remember in a while. I think I will Justin Reed to score with my mind bullets. Can't say how many times this year Saints and LSU combined have gotten incredible field position, squandered the opportunity to field goals and no scores. Yeah, we saw it before. I mean, with Mason Tipton, Saints got a fucking tackle, man. I mean, Bijan's taking about 6 Saints players on. Jesus. But no, you are right, Casey. I mean, they have wasted field position far too much. I mean, it should be 10-10 right now. Blake Grupe's kick should not be missed. And yet it was. So 3rd down coming up. Bijan really is a fucking beast, man. You got 3 Saints players in the mix trying to take him out. 3rd and 5. 2-minute warning approaching. Huge play right here. And they're going to have to snap before the 2-minute warning, obviously. Pressure off the edge. Oh my God, Kirk Cousins is going to get out of it. This is embarrassing. He's going to have to go down though. And they're going to force a field goal. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? What in the absolute fuck was that? Why did he just swanton bomb on top of Kirk Cousins? I need a replay of that. Dude, he just, look at that. Why did he just swanton? Oh my God, that was the most insane fucking play I've seen. That to me is nuts. All right, 2-minute warning. Got to get a drive here. I mean, I'll take the holding to 3. Got to lead the league in almost sacks. Yeah, for sure. It's a Saints specialty. And God damn it, they're really good at it. But I don't know. I mean, look, shout out to Stallbird. Like, the play was still made by him, but holy shit. God, I have not seen that before. Stallbird jumped on his head. I don't know what that was, but I'll take it. Jameis Winston called a touchdown. Dude, Jameis Winston's touchdown reception earlier today was like, it was nice. Like, a little bit of a back shoulder, catches it, slams on the brakes, turns, goes upfield, gets yardage, and then gets the defender out of the screen. Stiff arms him out and gets a touchdown. That would have been any other quarterback with a smidge of athleticism that would have really cost us. No, you absolutely are right? Stallbird would have flipped over the fucking quarterback. Guy would have been mobile enough to get out. Kirk Cousins is so immobile that like he literally couldn't even get out of it. He's like running in quicksand, right? And it probably would have ended up in a touchdown, to be quite honest. That's just the truth of the matter. Really, it helps going up against Kirk sometimes. I'll tell you though, I mean, right now my vibes are still high. If the Saints go out there and lay another egg on this upcoming offensive drive, I might just freak the fuck out. Because I genuinely don't know what the hell Kellen Moore's been, what he's been scheming. All right, so let's watch this lovely replay here of Stallbird. What the fuck, man? He quite literally jumped over him. And I'm cracking up at Bijan just getting hit from behind. Like he just took a cleat to the back unintentionally, but field goal coming up here for Zane Gonzalez. The kick is up, and it is good because their kicker is not an idiot. So 13-7, Falcons lead. Get a new kicker. They did. Falcons did. The Saints should follow suit and do the same. Stallbird went WWE. He really did. He really did. All right. Minute 56, plenty of time. Minute 56 with all three timeouts. Plenty of time here for this offense to do something as they cut over to the booth to show Drew Brees and Adam Amin. How's Drew Brees' commentary been actually so far? I watched a little bit of the Green Bay New York game last week, but I don't know. I'm still trying to get a feel for some of these commentators. I think I got to get used to some of them. I still haven't gotten used to Brady. I don't know if I ever will. And I don't know if I really love Brady's commentary. But some guys I've gotten used to, like Greg Olsen, I think is becoming a really, really good broadcaster. We'll see if Drew Brees can kind of join that group. I'd love to see a good kickoff return here too, but let's be quite honest about things. He got a great return before from Mason Tipton, 75-yard return almost, and did nothing. Literally did nothing for this offense. Kellen Moore looking into his play sheet. Buddy, you ain't going to find anything in there. You're the problem, not the play sheet. Although I guess the play sheet's the problem too. It's his play sheet. Saints are going to kick it off, and it is going to roll out of the back of the end zone. Minute 56, all three timeouts. How about some quick hitters here, man? How about some quick hitters here? It's your boy X says he's been okay. All right. There's a lot of dead air time in his game call last week. Yeah, I saw that was one of the complaints. Good commentary by Breeze, a little generic, though. That's fair. Romo has gotten so bad. Romo, to me, the fall off is crazy because year one Romo was awesome. He's calling plays. He's telling you what's going to happen before it even happens. And now it's to Ed's point. Glazing Mahomes, glazing Josh Allen, just the usual. 1st and 10 here coming up from the 35. Quick hitter to Jawan for about a 5-6 yard gain, which is good. I mean, you take the 6 yards, move the chains forward. Obviously not yet, but positive yardage, stopping the clock, still have all three timeouts. So much time in the world here. There should not, to me, you shouldn't feel any added pressure of running a hurry up here. You got a lot of time. And what you'd love for this drive is to get points and more importantly, get your quarterback feeling like he's in a rhythm getting into the second half of football. Shough takes the snap. Tipton rolls out. He's going to throw it over the middle of the field to Olave. That's going to be a first down. Olave's so smooth, man. He's a damn good receiver. This is the type of drive you want to see as well. Want to see their chemistry if it is there. That's got to be your go-to target, obviously. Saints minute 32, all 3 timeouts still from the 49. Shough's going to throw it to Jawan. Jawan almost dropped that shit, but we will take that as Saints fans. Dropping the bucket right there. First down for New Orleans. So far, 3 good throws to start the drive. Pretty good route by Jawan. I don't know how the fuck he almost dropped that, dude. Why is he fumbling around with that football? And again, you're at the 35 now. You're at the 35. You got all 3 timeouts. There should be no pressure here. You should feel pretty comfortable about what you can and can't do as an offense. Shough's going to take the snap. He's going to throw it to Mason Tipton. Tipton's going to gain about 5. Had he got away from that, it could have been scary there for Falcons defense. Saints are going to let the clock wind a little bit. I'm cool with that. I don't think you got to take your timeout yet because you also want to keep Atlanta on the sidelines. You know, you don't want to give them a bite at the apple as well. Saints are going to take the snap here, 2nd and 4 from the 29. Shough's going to roll out, throw it away if you don't have anything. And he does. 3rd and 4 coming up. That's fine. You'll live with that. You don't want the back-breaking turnovers in a spot like that. Johnson, wide receiver 2, and that's not a flex. He is, though. Yeah, you're right. He is there. He's your second pass catcher. Hasn't been Vele, that's for fucking sure. Although, who knows? Maybe I'll reverse jinx him and he'll come up with a catch. Vele, if you're listening, come on. We should do 2-minute offense all game. I will say, Diego, that's like my favorite thing. When an offense stinks, they get into hurry up, like a 2-minute drill, and it's like, all right, now you're starting to move the chains, and then you go right back to what wasn't working, in the second half. Crucial down here for the Saints. 3rd and 4. Pressure out the rip. Oh, and that was the Shough special from Louisville. That was the Shough special from Louisville that you don't want to see. He got pressure, and this motherfucker just rolled it like a bowling ball. He looked like he was rolling dice at the craps table. What the fuck? Look at this. I'll roll you a 7 right there. I mean, you almost rolled Atlanta a 6, to be quite honest. Oh, my God. All right, those plays can't happen, man. Those plays can't happen. And yet, I would rather watch that a million more times than watch Blake Grupe kick. 47-yard field goal on the way. It is up. Cut this motherfucker! Oh, my God. Dude, why are we letting this Keebler elf kick the football anymore? What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? Stop letting him kick. Stop letting him kick. This guy is so fucking bad. He's got 8 missed field goals. He's got 8 missed field goals this year. He missed 4 all of last season. Stop letting this stupid fucking moron kick. And yet the bigger moron is Kellen Moore. He keeps letting him kick. Unfucking believable. And he's a captain. Yeah, buddy, you can go to your training net and tempt kicks. It's not going to work. You're the problem. It's not the training net. You pushed it right on the last one. You pushed it right on this one. And now the Falcons have a chance to kind of add some points before the half. Good fucking Lord, man. Chase Young getting some pressure on Kirk. He's going to drop back. He's probably going to throw this out. Yep. Good Lord, man. Unreal. Ugh. 2nd and 10. Quickly 3rd down here. See if Atlanta calls timeout. Kind of a weird spot. I don't think you should call timeout if you're Atlanta, but maybe they will. Would be a Raheem Morris thing to do. I can't believe he has confidence in Grupe. It's nuts. Oh boy. I can't believe he's missed 2 kicks already. This literally would be a tied game. This game would be tied if this guy knew how to kick a fucking football. Unreal. Unfucking real. Third and 5 coming up. And wide open on the cross. And, oh boy, he might be. They might mark that as a first. I think that's going to be awfully close. Talk about not being situationally aware of where the yard is. They're going to give him the spot, though. That's a generous spot, I would say. First down, Falcons. I really can't. I can't believe we're letting this guy kick. Unbelievable. These are guys, these are not like the hardest misses. These are easy misses. 38, 47. Like, you're in a fucking dome. Zane Gonzalez hit a 56-yarder. And to whoever brought it up before, shout out to you. You got Will Lutz, who's been balling in Denver. He gets an extension. And the Saints just have like this unwavering loyalty to fucking Blake Grupe. Unreal. It's baffling to me. He's one more missed field goal away from stealing J.J. McCarthy's nickname, man. Unreal. It is fourth down. Decision time for Atlanta. I mean, I still think they go for it, but let's see. I think it's like an inch. I think you got to just go for it. But if you get stuffed, I mean, isn't that hella fascinating? Because then if you're the Saints, you'd have good field position and you could let Blake Grupe miss one more field goal to end the half. If the football gods have any sense of humor, Atlanta will get stuffed here. Because we need to see Blake Grupe attempt one more kick. Also, can you cut a kicker at halftime? Because the Saints absolutely should. The fucking Keebler elf, man. He's killing this team. He's killing this team. It's like the standards went out the window when Sean Payton left. Can you imagine Sean Payton's face as he seen Grupe miss both chip shots? He would have been staring right through his soul for sure. Meanwhile, in Denver, Will Lutz has to kick a game winner, and he's like, dude, make this kick. Do they go for it? And they do. Oh, they easily get it. Was not a doubt in anyone's mind on that one. Oh, well. And also, if you're Kellen Moore, you're 2-8. Can we start going for some of these fourth downs? Like, why is there such a reluctancy to just punt it away or kick a field goal with fucking Grupe? It's quite frustrating. It's quite frustrating. Saints defense, they got to get a stop here. The last thing you want is letting Atlanta attack on another 3. But hey, their kicker made a 56-yarder, so they're not too far away. Going to throw it out wide to Bijan. Bijan's going to gain about 6 yards and get out of bounds. Not ideal. Unreal. And by the way, guys, points-wise, 8 missed field goals. I mean, 24 points is 24 points, no matter how you slice it. Now, if the goal is for Blake Grupe to be a double agent to help the Saints tank, okay, then he is excellent at his job. But I don't think that's what's going on here. I think the guy just fucking sucks. I wasn't expecting anything out of Kellen Moore year one, but man, look, Joseph, it depends what you see. When you see the lack of accountability, I think that's what drives me nuts. I can live with the Saints losing. We've watched a lot of Saints lose in the last couple of years. Saints, had they finished this year 2-15, I'll be fine. It's how you lose. It's shit like this. And on top of it, damn well nothing's going to change. Instead, we got to hear, Gail Benson do these interviews and talk about how it's ridiculous to fire Loomis or, it's a tough year. It's a rebuilding year. There's no accountability. And it starts from the top, so it's hard to penalize the coach when the people above him don't have it either. Kirk Cousins is going to run on the Saints. All right, this has to be a disband the franchise moment. Has to be. You let Kirk Cousins run for 5 yards and a first down. That's pretty bad. Stares at his stupid-ass play sheet all game. That's part of it too. I think if he was a rah-rah type of coach, like a Dan Campbell type of coach, when the mistakes happen, you get a little bit more grace because as a fan, you see that emotion. With Kellen, you don't really see it. And I'm not saying Kellen has to fake it, right? If you're not that guy, don't try to be that guy. Players will see through the bullshit. But, it is frustrating from a fan perspective when your team is not doing well and then pan over the sideline and the guy who's in charge of the troops is just standing there with like a blank look on his face. It's pretty frustrating. And again, things could change in the second half, but what has Kellen Moore shown to make us believe that? Looks like we're going to have a false start here on the Falcons. They just shoot themselves in the foot. Call him Plaxico Burress. Jeffrey saying, you're 2-8. Why are you even going for field goals anyway? Go for it. You have nothing to lose. Yep. Payne might have murdered Groupie on the sideline for sure. Accountability will kick in when the Superdome is half empty on game day. I would love to say that might be it, but is it going to be? I thought there would be a turning point as a franchise. Remember when they played the Lions and it was full of Detroit fans? I thought something would change that day. Really hasn't. It's been status quo. So 1st and 15. Come on, man. You cannot, and that ball ends up being incomplete. You cannot let Kirk Cousins have a half hour to throw the football. I shit you not. Who remembers that year when the Saints were cycling through different kickers each week? Those jobbers we grabbed that year were all better than Groupie. Then they had a guy like a Kai Forbath kick a 50-yarder to win against the Giants in that 52-49 shootout. That dude off the street, better than Groupie. I hate that frantic last Saints drive now gave them all this time. Should have at least bled the damn clock. Right. What did you do? You didn't bleed the clock. You didn't score. Nonsense, man. 2nd and 15, and they're going to get the yardage they need to kick a field goal here. So they're going to be able to attempt about a 54-yarder to end the half. Unreal, man. Zane, see, that's the problem. You see shit like this, right? Kellen Moore's just standing there. It's that blank look. It's that frustrating look of like, this guy don't have a fucking clue in the world. And obviously he does more than my dumbass. But, that's where the frustration stems in. And wouldn't that be freaking annoying if Atlanta is able to tack on 3 here in this spot? Who gets the ball after the half? The Saints will get the ball after the half, which is why you wanted the doubling up of, add points and, have a good drive to start the second half. And I don't know, can you have confidence in them having a good drive to start the second half? I can't. Good execution by Atlanta on that drive. We lack that kind of focus. Yeah, I mean, you got to where you needed to be. You got yourself in field goal range. I think they only had one timeout on that drive as well. Comes the 54-yarder from Zane Gonzalez. The kick is up, and it is good. Money. Absolute money. So their kicker makes a 56-yarder. Their kicker makes a 54-yarder. The Saints kicker can't hit the side of a motherfucking barn. And that's the difference of the game, guys. That's the difference of the game. Sometimes. It really is. It really is. And the only points you have are off a fucking pick six. That'll do you in every time. Unreal. All right, so halftime is here. We will we'll just jump right into it. We'll jump right into our halftime show for this, which is so frustrating, man. I really can't believe that this team is playing the way they are. All right, so we're going to take a 20-second break, and we're going to jump into our halftime show. Guys, don't go anywhere, all right? right, Saints fans, it's halftime of this Falcons-Saints game. The Saints are trailing 16-7. Let's talk about it here on the Straight Up Saints podcast presented by Scott Fickner Injury Lawyers. Saints first half notes. Offense has been an absolute train wreck. Even coming out of the bye week, no creativity, no easy plays here. Now no Alvin Kamara due to knee injury. That's going to be an added factor for the second half. How are they able to adjust? Defensively, mixed bag. You've seen the good, a pick six. You've seen the bad, having a drive where Kirk Cousins just methodically gets down the field. Special teams, though, absolute story so far for this game to talk about if the Saints go on to lose this with them being down 9 at the moment. Blake Grupe missing 2 kicks, 47 yards and 38 yards. Those should be easy field goals. Those should be manageable field goals. In a dome, he's missed both. Meanwhile, on the other side, Zane Gonzalez for the Falcons has made a 56-yarder and a 54-yarder. And I say this, and I'll get into your comments in just a quick second, guys. At some point, as a head coach, you got to show that you are the guy in the room that everyone has to look to and has to respect. And if Blake Grupe can come in, week out, and miss kicks and cost his team points and still have his job, what message does that send to the rest of the team? So I say this, I don't care if Blake Grupe makes 4 kicks to end this fucking game and they end up being a game winner. He cannot be on the Saints anymore because at some point, when there's no accountability at the top, that shit ends up corroding everything, and it ends up infecting the rest of this team. You will see a lack of accountability across the board because, hey, if Blake Grupe's not doing his job, what does it matter if I do mine? You will have that effect. So to me, that's been one of the stories of this half, to let a player who, quite frankly, has been awful this season dictate this game yet again. It's frustrating. It's quite frustrating. So, again, there's still a lot of time to win this game, or just at least show some improvement. Because let's say for a lot of people, they don't want the Saints to win this game. There's time to show some positive signs. But my 2 takeaways, no accountability when it comes to Blake Grupe. He's allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants. And 2, Kellen Moore off a bye. Are you going to be that offensive guru? Are you going to show us a little bit of flavor to this offense? Well, no, it's as bland as shit. And quite frankly, it looks worse than it did prior to the bye week. And to me, that's a little shocking. So, yeah, let's get into your comments, guys. Let's talk about it. Joby Miller here says, Hill is one of my favorite Saints ever, but it's time. Yeah. I mean, Taysom plays got to go out the window. And Taysom usually lives for these Falcons games. He's not doing shit, man. He's not doing shit. Taysom's not the reason they're losing, obviously, but, you know, it's an added factor to this game of your offense doesn't have playmakers, and your offensive play caller doesn't have anything to make your life easier for your young quarterback or just for the offensive team as a whole. So personnel is not great, but the play calling isn't great either. So I think that's definitely a problem. Keep in mind they got rid of their original kicker and found someone better. Meanwhile, the Saints, mom and pop shop, loyal to whoever, a nice guy. Yeah, Zane Gonzalez was not the starting kicker of the Falcons earlier this year. You pick him up off the street, frankly, and he's been great today. Whereas Grupe, there's this loyalty to a guy that, what the fuck has Blake Grupe ever done for the Saints? What has he done for the Saints that warrants this? And Grupe had a good year last year. Don't get me wrong. He had a good year for the Saints. He only missed 4 field goals last year. He's missed 8 this year. He's missed 8 field goals. At some point, as an organization, have some respect for yourself and get rid of this motherfucker, because it's not happening, man. And the fact that I sit here and after 30 minutes of football, I could say the only highlight for the New Orleans Saints right now is a pick 6 is quite embarrassing. And it's a nice pick 6. It's a good play by Stutzman. It's a good play by Kool-Aid. And it's a really good play by Justin Reed, who had the interception. But 30 minutes of football against a Falcons team that is on a 5-game losing streak, and that is the product off of a bye week, shame on the coaching staff. And I know the personnel is not good. I understand that. It can't look this bad. It should never look this bad. And yet it does. And yet it does. Why didn't we cut this motherfucker weeks ago? I don't know, man. I don't know. 75-yard tipped and return for a missed field goal had me heated. And isn't that kind of the way to set a tone for this game and kind of let you know what Saints game you're in store for? Your immediate red zone opportunity ends up being a drive where you lose yardage, and then your kicker misses a chip shot field goal. It could have been 2 weeks or 2 months, and Kellen wouldn't have this team ready. It does feel that way. And it's not going to happen. He's not getting fired after this year. The Saints will be loyal to him. They might give him 3 years. Who the fuck knows how this thing plays out? What I can say, though, is that right now, I don't feel like the Saints have a guy who's a legit head coach. I don't. And maybe Kellen will change my opinion over time. But I don't see how you can end up keeping up the faith in what he does as a play caller. 95 total yards at the half. Damn, it's a shit show. It's a shit show. Beyond frustrating. Saints are 2-8 after bye. It's a shit stat. That's true. I mean, that's an alarming stat, but not great. That's technically 9 points on Groupie, 2 missed field goals, and then they were able to get 3 off that miss. Yeah, look, that's part of the game. It's part of the game. That's why I say, like, you could say, oh, don't pin it on the kicker. Fuck that. I could pin it on the kicker. Even when the offense isn't playing well, there should be more than 7 points on the board. It should be a 13-13 game right now, frankly. And it's not. If the Saints don't cut Groupie tonight, then I don't know what message you're sending as an organization, And I know the Saints, you guys talk about the mom and pop shop stuff, and you guys aren't wrong. The Saints operate differently, but that is also why this is a bad team right now. It's the way they operate. You act like your shit don't stink. Your shit absolutely reeks. And that's just what it is right now. After bye, the offense looks worse. It does. And I don't know how. I really don't know how that was possible. Give me one reason to believe Kellen Moore's the answer. Clint, I can't give you one. And again, I know I tend to fall towards the pessimist side of things, the pessimistic side of things. I get that. But I really don't think he's a good head coach. I don't think he's schematically impressive at all. I don't think personality-wise there's anything there. And look, unless behind the scenes, Kellen Moore's telling Mickey Loomis, dude, we got to cut Groupie. And he's going, no, we can't. I love Blake Groupie. I don't. I don't think that's the case. What is the ringing endorsement for Kellen Moore? What is his calling card? Don't see one. Put Justin Reed at kicker. I would be fine with that. I'll be fine with that. How did Groupie even get a captain's patch? You guys want to talk about captain's patch? I mean, they just cut a captain this past week. Brandon Cooks, 2-year, $13 million contract, did absolutely nothing for this team. You just cut him. The captains on this team, for the most part, they don't produce. And you really want them to, but they don't. Clock management sucks ass. Don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. Jaden says Kellen does not have to be one and done. Stop it. I'm not saying he has to be one and done. I'm saying he has to start showing signs. He's not going to be one and done, so I'm not even going to entertain it. The last 3 years, I was on the fire Dennis Allen after every loss. And, a lot of that is because I felt vindicated because we knew he was a bad coach with the Raiders. Kellen's going to have his time. They're going to give him grace. Where are the signs, though? That's my question. I think he might be able to develop quarterbacks decently. And even that, I don't know I could say yet. We're 10 games in. But he's got to start showing signs, man. And I know the personnel's not great. But you look around the league. I look around today, right? And no Jackson Dart, no Malik Neighbors, no Cam Scatterbu. And the Giants put 27 on the Lions, and they're in a dogfight in overtime. I know the Saints don't have good players, but it can't look this bad offensively, guys. It can't. And I know personnel matters. So, Kellen Moore and Philly with great personnel, it all looks great. And I get that. And Lord knows Philly would love to have Kellen Moore back. But off a bye week, why does it look this bad? I just don't know. Chris, it's like I've been saying, Blake Groupie's a choke artist. Garrett Hartley wasn't the best kicker we ever had, but he was clutch under pressure. Some players just choke under pressure. Fair. It's fair, man. And the crazy thing is these should not be pressured kicks. We're talking about like 37 yards, 47 yards. Like these should not be pressured kicks. And here's a stat for you. Blake Groupie has the worst percentage of any kicker with at least 25 attempts for the first 12 weeks of the season since Mason Crosby in 2021. I mean, to have 25 attempts is the insane thing because the leash on this dude is insanely long, and I don't get it. It's the reason no other team wanted him. This Kellen first damn year, bro. Y'all Saints fans are impatient. We don't have good players either. Give him 2 years at least. He's going to get 2 years regardless. That's not the question. It can't look like this. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's going to get fired. He's not going to get fired. And I'm not going to sit here and say you should get fired because I don't want to waste my breath off things aren't going to happen. He's not getting fired. It cannot look this bad, though. That's what I'm saying. And if you think it can, that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion, just like I'm entitled to mine. Off a bye, though, this is how bad the offense looks. The offense doesn't have a single fucking point. To me, that's alarming, you know? It's really hard to evaluate any of these quarterbacks for real with this coach and roster. I mean, what other roster is rolling out Mason Tipton as wide receiver 3 and Devon Vele as wide receiver 2? What other roster? I really don't know. Why is Justin Tucker unemployed? Go ask the massage parlors why that man's unemployed. That'll get you your answer. We have to slow the talk on Tyler Shough being our franchise quarterback. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a week-to-week thing, I think, as all fan bases do. Today has not been good. Last game was very good. Rams game was not good. Also didn't have the ball. But, I think it's way too early either side of the fence to say he's either a bust or he's a starter. Can't go there, you know? Blake Grupe is no good. See, that is something we could all agree on, and an assumption we can come to. A conclusion we can come to, excuse me. Only way Moore is one and done is if he loses confidence with the players or there's something controversial around him. Yeah, that ain't going to happen. He'll be back for next year. Giants have Jameis, a more skilled quarterback, and offensive line. Again, see, this is my problem. Them are not being fair. It's not about the record. It's not about the record. See, I just saw it's not about the record, man. I'm fine with the Saints being 2-8. There's nothing wrong with them being 2-8. It's how the offense looks. It can't be this fucking bad. It can't be this bad. 7 points right now. It's not from the offense. 0 points from the offense today. You beat the Panthers. You scored 17 points. The game before that, you played the Rams. You had 10 points. The game before that, you played the Buccaneers. You had 3 points. The game before that, you played the Bears. You had 14 points. It can't look this bad. And I'll take the Bears, for example, right? You had 14 points against the Bears. Mason Rudolph and the Steelers put up 28 points today. It can't look this bad. That's the thing. And this is off a bye week. It's not about wins. The Saints can lose today, and that's be fine. I know they're playing the Falcons. I want them to beat the Falcons, but they can lose to the Falcons. I'll be okay. 7 points and the 7 aren't from your offense? That's embarrassing in my opinion. And again, it's not like you're playing a world beater in Atlanta. You're playing an Atlanta defense that gave up 448 passing yards to Bryce Young last week. So that's all I'm saying. It's just to take everything a little bit in context. Am I rash to say that I don't think Kellen Moore's the guy? Probably. I think that's a little harsh on my end. But it's all in context of what they're not doing offensively. And right now, it's a lot of bad. You know, it doesn't – what do they show on offense? What's the calling card? Outside of Olave making a play, you know, I just don't see it. Notice how much time Cousins has, now a little time Shough has. That's definitely part of it for sure. No Fuaga hurts. Atlanta does have a good pass rush. I would say that's one of their skill sets. But yeah, I just think offensively it can't look this bad. It can't. And I'm okay with the losses. I really am. I don't want to see a scoreless offense through 2 quarters. As the second half, guys, is about to resume. I'll continue with your other comments. Pettis just got absolutely fucking bopped at the 25. Jesus. Our O-line sucks. Our wide receivers don't get open. Bro, look at the tape. Our players are terrible. I'm not denying that. But how come the 49ers can miss everyone, and they will put up points? That's my argument. You're a good coach or you're not a good coach. Can you scheme stuff open? And I'm not saying that he has, you know, to give me 30. Give me 20. Give me 20 points from an offense, you know? They don't get to 20. It's crazy. First down here for Shough. Going to dump it off to Devin Neal. Devin Neal is going to gain. Really good gain from Devin Neal to start this. Almost a 20-yard gain. Shout out Devin Neal there, you know? And again, I don't mean it to make it personal, so I apologize if it comes off that way. I'm more excited than I am yelling. And I know the personnel is not good, but I'll take an example here. And I know I'm being unfair because this coach is one of the best in the business, but like the 49ers earlier this year played the Rams with no George Kittle, with no Ricky Pearsall, with no Brock Purdy. Obviously, no Brandon Ayuk hasn't played this year, and they put 26 on the Rams in a win. Like, to me, that is, I'm not saying you got to be perfect, because this personnel, you can't be perfect with this personnel. Can't look this bad, though. And now you have a halftime. You had a halftime to make adjustments. Hopefully you did, and hopefully you get better results here as a 2nd and 6 coming up. Super chat here from BRev2. I've been saying Spencer processed the field faster than Tyler. He needed help. I mean, yes and no. I will say this. maybe there's a quicker decision coming from Rattler, but processing the field, I think, is also a little bit unfair to say, because if we go back and look at the tape, there's a lot of times where if Rattler just waited a split second instead of just immediately hitting his check down, he would have an opportunity to stretch the field and take a shot. And again, I like Rattler. I don't want to make it seem like I'm anti-Rattler, but this idea that Rattler is a really good processor, I don't agree with that. I don't. I would say there's a lot of other quarterbacks around the league. There's a lot of quarterbacks around the league that process fairly well. I don't know if the Saints have one at the moment, for both guys. And we'll see what happens. 1st and 10 here. Devin Neal going to run it, get to the 39. Good drive for Devin Neal so far. I don't know if we'll keep it up, but definitely a good drive. BS, I hear the bias. Bias towards Shough or bias against Rattler? Is that the argument? I'm not trying to be rude, guys. I don't know what we've seen from either quarterback to think that, one of them's being done a great injustice. Rattler had a lot of starts. And if Shough stinks, I'll be sitting here saying they got to draft a quarterback. But again, especially now when he's not even a starter, please spare me the Rattler talk. He's not on the fucking field. If he gets on the field, we'll discuss Rattler. But he's not on the field right now. We're just beating a dead horse for no reason. Taysom picks up the first. I'd like to see maybe Taysom uses a halfback a little bit more, because the designed Taysom runs aren't working. Mendoza for president. Mendoza had a great season. And that Penn State game-winning drive is, to me, one of those you just put it on, let the NFL coaches look at it, and let them come to their conclusions about what they like and don't like, because that was an awesome drive that he had a couple weeks ago. Although I will say I've been watching Dante Moore a little bit more frequently, and I quite like his skill set. He's an awesome player. 1st and 10 coming up for Saints. I think I would love to say you got to get 7 here, not just because Lord knows you need 7. Let's not put the ball in Blake Grupe's hands here, and or let's put it at his feet, I should say. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the Atlanta 33. Shough takes the snap, throws it deep. That's not a great throw. Oh, I thought Olave was going to make a sick catch. Oh, my God, that would have been insane. Not a great throw. Pretty good coverage. I thought Olave was going to come over the top and catch that thing for a sec. Not a good throw. Or just not a good decision in general. That's really good coverage. Olave, I think, Olave had a chance to moss him right there. Oh, my goodness. That's kind of through the breadbasket. Still don't love the decision. There. Would have been a sick catch from Olave, though. Would have been a wide receiver 1-esque catch, which he did a lot against Carolina. 2nd and 10, motioning out Taysom to the left. Going empty. All right, a catch for Vele. His 2nd catch of the game. Gain about 9. We'll take it. Definitely like seeing Vele getting a little involved here offensively. Would like to see him get a little bit more involved, but we'll take the reps when they come here. 3rd and 1 here. Going to run it with Taysom. He's going to get the 1st down. I think with Alvin out now, you're going to have a little bit of different look offensively. And I think maybe that might help you a little bit in terms of running the football. Because this is interesting so far. I've really liked what we've seen on this drive. A little bit of adjustments from Kellen Moore. And as a guy who has shat on Kellen Moore for the last God knows how long, he's definitely showing a little something here. Shough's going to get sacked. At a loss of a half yard. All right. 2nd down coming up. I really don't want this to be a drive that ends with Grupe having a chance to kick it. I really don't. I really, really don't want that, man. This is going to end in a Grupe field goal attempt, isn't it? Yeah, for sure. Shough should have just rolled out. It's weird because, you know what I said? I talked about game speed and actual 40 speed. Shough's 40 speed is good. Game speed, it don't look like he's that fast, but his 40's in the 4.6s. 2nd and 10. He's going to throw it. I feel like that's going to be holding. Yep, and it will be. It will be holding. Saints should get a fresh set of downs here. You got to score on this drive, though. Absolutely have to score on this drive. Definitely a little bit more variety from the offense to start this first drive of the second half. And I think in the red zone too, probably see a shit ton of Taysom Hill at this point. At least the all blacks look good. I like the all black look, man. And I like the all white look that they did the game before as well. I wouldn't mind if they do this a little bit. I just want them to match the golds. Shough on a quarterback keeper, and he's going to get about 3 yards. I don't mind the call there. Don't mind the call. Taysom's going to get brought down at about the 2. So 3rd and goal coming up. Yeah, honestly, I think it's got to be 4 down territory here. And I think you live with the consequences. I'm not letting Blake Grupe come out and kick a fucking 18-yard field goal to get his confidence up. I don't believe in that. I'm not going to subscribe to that. Shough's going to roll out, and he gets brought down at the 1. I think you got to go for it. I'm not kicking a field goal here. I'm not kicking a field goal here. Yeah, I think you go for it. Any updates on AK? He's out for the game, knee injury. We'll see the severity. We'll learn more about it tomorrow probably, but knee injury out for the game. So Devin Neal and Taysom Hill, those going to be your carries the rest of the game. Definitely got to go for it here. I don't love the predictability of the Taysom play, but maybe they'll break through here. He does love scoring against the Falcons. We'll see. Taysom off to the right. Oh my God. This is why I get frustrated with Kellen Moore, man. This is why I get frustrated with Kellen Moore. What is that play call? We're rolling right with the quarterback who isn't a good thrower to begin with. And those play calls, I would have hated if you called it with Shough, or God, I would have hated even if you called it with Breeze. You're eliminating one side of the football field. I hate it. It's predictable. And it doesn't equate to winning football, in my opinion. I really hate those calls that Kellen Moore makes. I really do. Anyway, guys, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a couple minutes. We're going to take a quick break here on the Straight Up Saints podcast. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back real soon. And we're back. Sorry about that, Saints fans. Thank you for holding down the fort. Going to sound like a broken record here. I think the Saints need points on this drive. Big time. Big time. Offense has absolutely been anemic. I still can't believe that fourth down call. Drives me up a wall. 2nd and 9 coming up. Shough's going to drop back. Going to dump it off to Devin Neal. Let's see if Devin Neal can make a play. And he gained some positive yards. 3rd down quickly coming up, though. Just shocking to see the lack of success the Saints have had, let's say, from guys like Chris Olave today. Not a knock on Olave. It's just there hasn't been anything there. I think he's at like 20 yards. Haven't been able to really take a deep shot downfield. Not a whole lot of good here, man. Glad more was staring at that sheet so hard to come up with that call. Yeah, not great. 3rd and 4. Got to have it down. Go into Olave. He's going to be short. You got to go for it. Do not punt this fucking football, Kellen Moore. Do not punt this football. Go for it. And do not run any nonsense with Taysom Hill. Go for it with your actual quarterback. Really can't get anything going offensively, man. It is like pulling teeth for this offense to do something today. Although, to be quite honest, it's been like that most of the season. 4th and 1, shocker, Taysom's in. And, oh, thank God, he will get the first down. It wasn't looking too good for a second. So Saints keep it rolling. Got to get fucking points. So I mean, you're running out of time. We're 3 minutes into the 3 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. You know, this before you know it, this game's going to be over. So got to at least put yourself in a position where it's a 1-possession game when you get the ball back. In the 4th quarter at some point. Trey says that the play they should have ran on the one. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that play was. Look, if you're going to play Taysom and use him in that 4th down spot, run the football. Don't get cute. 1st and 10. Saints are going to run it here with Taysom up the gut. He's going to gain about 3 yards. A lot of Taysom usage. I understand it though. No Alvin. You gotta do something here, but let's at least see what Devin Neal can do a little bit. The passing game's got to get going as well. The passing game's absolutely lifeless right now. And no Olave on the field at the moment, so tough to be confident there. We'll check down. Great play by Devin Neal. Devin Neal's going to take this all the way down to the 30, actually inside the 30. Devin Neal's been playing great in terms of being that check down option for Tyler Shough. He's been fantastic so far. As a running back, in terms of what he's done on the ground, all right, not so much. But in terms of as a pass catcher, we're seeing a little bit of something here from Devin Neal. And honestly, I to your point, need to see more of it. I agree. Give me more Devin Neal play calls, honestly. And here we go. We're going to get a run here, and it's going to be a loss of 2 yards. It's kind of what I get. I'm like, hey, give me more Devin Neal play calls. Loss of 2. 2nd and 12 coming up. I hate to alarm you guys. We are entering, they might have to attempt a field goal with Blake Grupe territory. And he'll try to go for the golden sombrero of field goal kick misses today. We're already 2 down. 2nd and 12. Just about a minute left in this 3rd quarter. This game has flown by. Or maybe I'm losing my mind. I feel like it's flown by. From the 29, Shough's going to take the snap. He's going to take a shot for Olave. I don't know if he got his feet in. If he did, amazing. If not, no matter anyway. It's going to be a 1st down from holding because, good God, that was harassment. I will say, I love that Shough takes the chances downfield to Olave. Not that it's always working, but love it there. Really, really love that you take the opportunity there. He's on him like a cheap fucking suit. Jesus. Unreal. So good opportunity for the Saints to put up points here. Like I said, Lord knows they need them. First and 10 from the 15. Mason Tipton in motion. And Taysom Hill gets absolutely swallowed up there. That's going to be a loss of 5. Like I said, guys, we are in Blake Groupie attempting a field goal territory. And I'm so tired of seeing that fucking guy. So hopefully that's not where we end up. Seems like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. This has been the theme of this offense today. 2nd and 13 is going to be the last play of the third quarter, most likely, and back it up 5 yards. When it rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours. It's going to be 2nd and 18. You're probably looking at a field goal attempt at this drive. Also, Cesar Ruiz is just fucking worse, man. Back-to-back bad plays from Cesar Ruiz. This one ends up being a false start. Chuck's taking his shot downfield to Olave, and they're going to gain all the yardage back. That's going to be a first down for New Orleans. Would you look at that? That's a great way to end the third quarter, man. Unless they're going to mark it down at a yard short, we'll see. But that's a great way to end that third quarter right there. Have a little bit of life offensively, at least a pulse. So we'll see what happens. First off, I got to convert this third down. It seems like they're going to mark it a yard short. But hey, if you score a touchdown on this drive, you give yourself a puncher's chance, or more than a puncher's chance with the way the defense is played. Okay, 12, good play. It's your boy X as Olave. It was a damn good throw. Quinn says, yeah, that had some mustard on it for sure. Less than 200 yards on offense. Yeah, you're not exactly seeing the greatest show on turf today. I think that's apparent. I think that got them over 200 yards just now. So yeah, they're saying it was marked just short. So it will be 3rd and inches when this fourth quarter begins. Kind of do or die time. Down 9 in this fourth. This opening play is going to kind of set the tone here. But even then, even if they get the first down, we just saw a drive before the inability to get the ball across the plane. With that Taysom call, which was just a train wreck. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but not feeling too great about what they're going to be able to cook up in the red zone, if anything. Kind of wonder why we aren't running downhill with Devin Neal in the red zone. I don't know. I really don't know. I wish I could tell you that. I wish I could tell you that it has to do with them just feeling like it's a better matchup with Taysom, and it probably is, but not quite sure, man. I wish we saw a little bit more. So I wish we saw a little bit more out of Devin Neal, for sure. But we're still definitely in Taysom territory. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. Great ball, though. They're showing the replay there. Great ball there to Olave to get it to 3rd and short. But yeah, you guys talk about Taysom, talk about Devin Neal. I just think in general, and we talked about this in the first quarter, guys, there's no juice in the backfield. Either way, there's no juice. So 3rd and inches. Gotta imagine you are in Taysom territory, which has been the case so far. I think you're just running this one up the gut with him. Vele in motion. Gonna hand it to Taysom. He's gonna get stuffed. It's 4th down. I still think you go for it. I know you take a field goal here. It gets you to a 1-possession game, but I still think you go for it. I just don't think Kellen knows what he wants to do in these situations. I like your offensive formation couldn't be any more predictable than it is right there. And then this is what you get. So 4th down. I don't want to say this is 4th in the ball game, but Lord doesn't feel like it. Now Devin Neal's in motion. Jawan's in motion. Maybe they're trying to get him off sides. Oh, they're going to run it. Taysom. He is going to, I think he's going to get the first. Yep. 1st down, New Orleans. Keep the drive alive. Got to get points here, man. And fuck it. If you're going to keep Taysom on the field, and it looks like they're pulling him off right now, at least commit to it being downhill. Don't give me any of those left to right type. And I'm a big QB power guy. In a game like this right now, with the way Atlanta's defense has been playing, it's just got to be north-south. 1st and goal here. Olave in motion. QB keeper. Shough's going to down at the 1. I like the play call, though. I don't mind them using Shough's speed right there. But if you're at the 1, that I'm not even overthinking it. Either QB sneak this thing or give me like just a straight run up the middle. Do not overcomplicate this thing. And if you're going to put Taysom in, don't overcomplicate it. Go right up the gut. Shough took a shot at the end of that one. Hopefully he's all right. Atlanta's players down, though, so. Kellen's going to have all the time in the world to think about this one. Just up the gut, man. Don't overcomplicate it. I know you guys are saying tush push with Taysom. I don't disagree about the strength part. The Saints haven't been successful with the tush push this year, though, which is quite hilarious, considering Kellen Moore comes from Philly. It just hasn't worked for them. But I don't disagree on that. Like, I'd be more than okay with the Saints attempting it here. So we'll see when they get back on get back out of this break. You're not kicking a field goal in this spot, though, obviously. I'm just going run. If I get stuffed, I'm running it again. If I get stuffed, I might run it a 3rd time. Like that's I'm not settling for 3, obviously. This is a good one. Daniel says, what about the Breeze jump from the yard? I think in theory it sounds great. And then the more you watch the NFL, no one really does it. And I don't know the answer to why it's not done, but no one really does. Finally letting Shough play at the goal line. I hate taking the ball out of Shough's hands for a 36-year-old. It's not working. Yeah, I mean, it hasn't worked. We'll see if they go back to him here, but it hasn't worked. Breeze was the best at it. He was. Just like I thought Brady was like the best QB sneak, like, I don't know what the word would be, for the best at you operating and doing the QB sneak. In terms of just a leap over the top, Breeze was the best at that. And there's a science to it, I would say, because clearly if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. No one does it, which is quite hilarious. It's hilarious that we get flags on the tush push plays this year, yet Philly can do anything pre-snap and never draw a flag. It's insane. Philly gets away with some egregious penalties in that spot and rarely called. Does Taysom get the ball every time he's on the field? It just feels like it. It does. It does feel like it. He's in the game, by the way, so let's see what they have. Let's see if he's used as a blocker or as a runner. This is a massive indictment on the coaching staff for a week, for after a bye week, and offensive coach has the offense this bad. Yeah, I talked about it before, Ed. We're not seeing much here. We're about less than 2 footballs length of getting into the end zone. Bailey in motion. They're going QB sneak with Shough. I think he's stuffed. I could be wrong. I'd like to say he might be in, but I don't know. They're saying he's marked down at the 1. So you either go again, run that again, or they're probably maybe going with Taysom here. We'll see what they do. You're a hair from getting in. I might just run that shit again, but who knows? Let's see. Yeah, he's like I said, guys, if it was easy with the Breeze going over the top thing, everyone would do it. So they're taking Shough off the field. You know what that means. Taysom's getting the ball here. Whether it's a Taysom keeper or not, we shall see. They gotta score here, though. I know I'm stating the fucking obvious here, but I wonder if they go read option or they just go QB power. Oh my God, the ball snapped over his head. Just throw it away. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Why is it so hard? 4th and 1. This is 4th and an inch, quite frankly. Why is it so hard for this offense to figure this shit out? Why? And Fortner, that's the second time on a Taysom play that he snapped this thing to the moon. And this is also why I don't love running it out of the shotgun from 4th and inches. And by the way, yes, to answer your question, this is the center that Gale loves. Are they calling intentional grounding? Yep, they are. All right, so this is a field goal now. Drive goes to absolute shit. Drive goes to absolute shit for the New Orleans Saints. Oh, man. When it rains, it pours, man. When it rains, it fucking pours. They're going to lose this game because they are incapable, and their coach is incapable of figuring out what the best play call will be from 4th and 1. Well, let's see if this fucking idiot does his job. Yeah, he made a kick. They'll buy him another 7 weeks. They'll buy him another 7 weeks on the fucking roster. And this is why, like, again, maybe I was a little bit harsh. Before when we were talking about it. But, you know, when I said my frustrations with Kellen Moore, it's shit like this. It's not about the wins and losses. They've been at the goal line twice now, and they can't figure it the fuck out. And that to me is just, it can't happen. So that's where my frustration stems. And I know it maybe it seems a little rash, but it should never look this bad. It should never look this bad. Again, why not try at least one run with Devin Neal in the red zone? I don't know. I don't know. How about stop taking it out of the shotgun? How about that? You ran a QB sneak with Shough and it didn't work. You probably could have just ran it again and it would have worked. But, Jesus. Guys, please, no more Rattler discussion. I said this a million times when they benched Rattler. He wasn't the problem. He wasn't the solution. Both are true. And I don't want to get into Rattler discussion because I don't think it's fair to him or fair to us fans to even talk about it. Right now, I'm strictly talking about Kellen Moore and the asinine things that he has done today. Off a bye week, mind you. Off a bye week, this is what it looks like. Unreal. It's easy when you have Saquon giving you a career year. There's a reason Kellen Moore was always getting fired as OC before Philly. I don't know. Maybe yes and no, but it just seems like as a head coach, like when the decision's falling on you in these big spots, it seems like it's not happening right now. You know, this is kind of where we're at. It's just the dumbest team in the NFL. Might be. A lot of contenders for that, though. Really shit year. Every time I look at Tankathon, I'm like, God, there's a lot of teams playing like ass right now. I still can't believe that snap, man. Unreal. $12 minutes left in this fourth quarter. The fact it's even a game is fucking hilarious. Oh, this game might be over after this return. Let's see. He gets all the way down to the 47. Unreal. Chris, you know what I'm saying? It ain't about Rattler. I get that. You get my point, though. I don't want to get into the Rattler discussion because you know damn well how heated it always ends up getting, around these parks. But I understand what you're saying. You're saying you change the quarterback, doesn't change who's calling the plays, what's going on behind the scenes. And I do agree with you. What a dumb penalty from Atlanta. So that's going to wipe out some of their field position. Always makes you feel better when the paid ref says they screwed you. Oh, man. We need playmakers bad. We're literally trying to have 40-year-old Taysom put the team on his back. I don't disagree with that, but I don't disagree with that, but I also think that even without having the playmakers that are on this, with the lack of playmakers, you should find a different way, because clearly this Taysom package is not working, to get the ball across the plane, especially when they've had so many opportunities. 1st and 10, Kirk Cousins on a play action, going to look to throw. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's got to be grounding, man. I don't think anyone's in the area. That's got to be grounding. There's no one. How are we not throwing a flag for this? There's no one remotely in the area. Please throw a flag. First off, that would be like a 20-yard penalty with how far back Kirk Cousins dropped. Dude, there's no one in the area. And I don't think he moved outside the tackle box. I don't think he's outside the tackle. I'm telling you, I think that's grounding. And they did drop the flag. Thank God. Huge penalty right there. Huge penalty. Defense is going to have a chance here. Make a couple of stops. Don't make any stupid penalties. Get off the field. Get the ball back to the offense so they can get stuffed again at the one. But still, get off the field and get the ball back to the offense. Good Lord, man. Good coverage, though. I mean, everything was taken away. The check down was taken away to Bijan. Tried to go over 85. Pete Werner's lurking over there. Great coverage across from Alante. So good across the board. Watch out for the Bijan fuckery here. Can I just say something? Why is my dumbass, who's just sitting here streaming, why am I aware that it's clearly going to end up being a design play for Bijan and the Saints have no fucking clue in the world? It's a problem. It's a problem. It is a legitimate problem. God damn, man. So 2nd and 24, wiped like that, just gone. Clean slate for Atlanta. I mean, embarrassing. Embarrassing, man. Now they're over midfield. Play action. Kirk Cousins going deep. He's got a man. And it's touchdown. Oh, we're letting Kirk Cousins celebrate at midfield. This team's a fucking joke. All right, well, 2-9 it looks like. 2-9 it looks like, man. This team is laughably bad. Oh my God. Getting dotted up by Kirk Cousins. That's next level embarrassing. Good throw, though. Good throw. Darnell Mooney's played well. Jesus. Cliff says, I can't take no more of this shit, y'all. I don't blame you. Kool-Aid backpedaling for half the goddamn field. Great coverage, little buddy. Oh, man. And they get the 2-point conversion. I mean, any resistance defensively, guys? Any resistance? I mean, Kirk's just clapping in their face now. I would say, let me just put this into let me just manifest this for a second. All right, let me just put this in. It's not going to happen because the Saints team's been ass. The funniest possible result now for the Saints would be if they get themselves in position, they score a touchdown here, get a stop, and score another touchdown, and then Blake Grupe misses the extra point to tie the game. That would be peak. Not going to happen, though. There's 11 minutes left. They can't score, and they're not going to score 2 touchdowns in 11 minutes, but you get my point. Look beyond results, Chris. Mickey's going to tell us, man. Mickey's going to tell us, but, you know, say whatever the fuck he wants. It clearly, the results clearly do matter, despite what he says. His team has no answers. That's on coaching. Yeah, coaching, it's all bad. Like, the personnel's bad. The coaching is bad. Prime Kirko Chains is back. Oh, man. I really am going to sound like a broken record. This being the product over a bye week is quite sad. It's quite sad. Looking elsewhere around the league real quick, just catching up on scores. Eagles-Cowboys seems interesting. It seems nice to see teams score points. We don't get that over here. Reason why this dude was our 4th choice for head coach. I think it's time to throw away all the Saints stuff and choose a better team. I can't do it. I can't do it. I've had people tell me sometimes, why do you root for this team? And I can't fucking tell you. I don't got the answer. No, I mean, I do got the answer, but it gets tough out here. It's that easy to get 2 yards for all 31 teams. It clearly is. Saints, no. Personnel's so fucking ass, and the coaching's so bad, man. Shador got a touchdown pass. I'm going to watch it now, actually. I didn't see the touchdown pass. I saw people tweet about it, but let's see what it looked like. Oh, it's a 66-yard catch and run. I mean, I don't want to take it away from him. Shador's actually, they're winning, and that matters. Good play by Dylan Sampson, though. I'm sure Myles Garrett's played great in that game. That dude's having a fucking bonkers season. Saints are soft from top down. Agreed. Cam Ward and the Titans put up 24 points. We even can't get to 14. Yeah, and it was against the Seahawks, man. Granted, they did have a special teams touchdown, but still. It's pathetic. We have a pick 6, so take that off the board. They have 3 points. And by the way, this game is going to be the one where it's really, really frustrating because you got 2 missed field goals. That'll get you to 16. And then you got the 4th down stop at the goal line. And honestly, you settled for 3 before. That should have been 7. It's one of those where you could have easily won and you didn't. Kellen sucks. Bye, Kellen. So embarrassing anytime we lose to the Falcons, for sure. And in this manner, it's tough. You're losing in a way where it shouldn't be like this. Play action here. Oh, boy. That could have been a disaster. Ends up being incomplete. Gale should just start over, fire everybody. Gale should fucking sell the team at this rate with the way this team looks under her leadership. This is just pathetic, man. Neal with the Kamara style drop. It did look like that a little bit. Even the Jets put up somewhat of a battle against the Ravens. We won't be favored in any game left this season. Probably not. It's crazy how much the line shifted, right? The Falcons were favored and then the Saints were favored like after a day. 2nd and 10 coming up. Can we get the offense moving here in any direction? That's a positive one. And it's a dump off. And Devin Neal's going to gain about 8, maybe 7. Lord knows they need a first down here in the worst ways possible. Maybe have some urgency too. I mean, you ain't got much time left in this game. I know there's a little over 10 minutes, but feels like it flies by in the NFL. They're going to go empty here on 3rd and 3. Never mind. Devin Neal motioning back to the backfield. Now Jawan in motion. And Shough sacked. That's the ball. That's the ball game. Cesar Ruiz fucking sucks, by the way. Can we just say that? That man fucking sucks. He sucked when he was on the rookie contract. He sucked when they paid him. Look at this fucking trash. So they'll punt this shit away. I mean, this has been a hilariously bad game. The punt takes a Falcons bounce. Oh, man. Oh, my God. So we got the inability here to score at the goal line. Couldn't score when they got that kick return to get them inside the red zone immediately. Couldn't score the second time at the goal line. And your kicker missed 2 field goals. That'll usually be the way. Shaheed is loving this trade right now. I mean, win-wise, yes. I'm not trying to be dick because I love Rashid Shaheed. Has he done anything in Seattle? I could be wrong. Maybe he had a good game today. Maybe I'm wrong. But I don't think he's done anything in Seattle. He had no fucking catches today. So I don't think Shaheed's loving the trade. Because look, winning is nice, but if you're a wide receiver, it's more important to get the ball, get your stats, and get your money than it is to win games and not have any production. Shaheed, since joining Seattle, has 3 catches for 30 yards in 3 games with them. So I don't know how much he is loving that trade, to be quite honest. This game is on Kellen. I mean, yeah, I would say so. Roster does suck, but it definitely, Kellen's play calling has been questionable, to be nice. Saints sure know how to shit on good vibes. That's what I get. I was like, oh, I'm feeling good going into this game. I'm excited. Saints fucking shit right on that immediately. So, yeah. Unreal. And now your defense, which just got torched, is back on the field immediately. So I'm sure that will go over swimmingly with this team. At this point, like I said, guys, they're going to lose a lot of games this year. They already lost a lot of games. You're just in evaluation mode. But, woof. I mean, how can you get excited about any other games left on the schedule if this is what the product's looking like? I don't know, man. Sounds like Loomis won the Shaheed trade. Shough, I don't know. I feel better about the Shaheed trade if he never made the Vele trade. I'll tell you that much. It's hard to give him any credit because Lord knows he's fucked up a lot. And I mean, you watch a game like today, and I sit here and I say, "Oh, the personnel stinks." Well, who's in charge of the personnel? Mickey Loomis. I say the coach stinks. I don't think he's any good. Who hired the coach? Mickey Loomis. So One way or another, it's going to fall on his shoulders. And yet, you know, you got the owner come out this week and do an article with NOLA.com and tell you it's ridiculous to say that we should fire Mickey Loomis. He's done a great job. He traded for Luke Fortner. Get the fuck out of here. By the way, Luke Fortner's had 2 costly snaps today. 2 really costly snaps. By the way, I'm just going to put it out there for now. We're like a play or 2 away at this rate from Bijan like breaking open a huge run. Like it seems like we're getting there, man. Seems like we're getting there. I quit watching. I'm watching videos now. I don't blame you. Nothing like a little YouTube to ease the mind. Third and 1 coming up. Can Raheem Morris's ass get off the fucking field? I mean, if that's the case, he might as well take a snap for the Falcons at this rate. This guy has been literally lurking on the field nonstop. Moore maybe 1 and done. Guys, they let Dennis Allen get to year 3. Kellen Moore is not getting fired after 1 year. No shot. Third and 1. They're going with Algier, and he gets the first down. At this point, Atlanta might be able to just run the fucking clock out. Honestly. Watch them raise ticket prices again next year. Raise ticket prices. Move the team to France at this rate. I don't know. Gale's been fucking around a little bit, so who knows? He won't last past next year. He isn't a good head coach. I don't think he should last past this year, but he will get to next year. Whether he lasts through next year, who knows? I don't know. Man, the Raiders suck, bro. Browns have 10 sacks on the night. How many times has Geno been sacked this year? I mean, it's got to be an insanely high number. First and 10, running with Algier. He's going to gain about 4. And by the way, this is such a shame. The Saints have reached this point where I'm talking about fucking Geno Smith getting sacked because there's nothing else good to talk about. Myles Garrett's got 3 sacks today. Good God. Myles Garrett's got 18 sacks on the season. He's going to break the record if he stays healthy at this rate. I mean, this is just next level stuff. In the last 4 games alone, he's got 13 sacks. How the fuck is that even possible? If your team has 13 sacks in 4 games, you'd be happy with that, you know? Second and 6 coming up. Falcons really are cool bleeding the clock, and Lord knows they could. Bijan gets stuffed there for a loss. Good play by Cam Jordan. You seen the Ruiz State Farm commercial with him holding the stop sign on the O-line? Continue to say this. As long as Mickey's the GM, we won't win anything. Yep. For sure. For sure. I mean, but again, guys, it's ridiculous. You can't say anything bad about Mickey Loomis. Fucking Gale, man. Third and 10. Kind of third in the ball game here. And they're going to go with a run. Oh, God. They got a decision to make here now. They got enough yardage where, like, you can... I mean, maybe you punt it away just because you're up 2 possessions. But you can go for it on 4th down, and it's not that crazy of a decision, quite frankly. Run defense, just, I mean, good God. But yeah, I guess you could argue this is kind of the kill shot if you go for it. If you try to draw them off sides, you just take the penalty and you punt it away, fine. But this does seem like it could be the kill shot if you get it. I don't know, man. Something smells fishy. And it is. Okay. I had hope today, but damn, dude. Yeah. I mean, I had hope today as well. How stupid. How stupid of me to get excited for a Saints game. And it really does, like, days like today just feel like super fucking bleak just because you know, you know that Loomis isn't going anywhere. It's just like the guy who has assembled this shit roster is coming back for more. And that's the problem. This team hasn't been competitive all year. Sloppy, undisciplined football coupled with piss poor execution, just awful. I mean, they've been competitive. It's just, it's the way that they're losing these games is just so fucking ridiculous. Like I think today's going to be the most frustrating loss of the season. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I think today's the most frustrating loss that they're going to have all season. All because they couldn't gain a yard at the goal line twice. One drive it happens, not great at all. For it to happen again is pathetic. Fair catch at the 11. Saints are going to have to go hurry up from here on out. You do have all 3 timeouts, but what the fuck is that going to matter if you can't even get in the end zone? So we'll see. I'm still putting it out there. Funniest result ever would be if this Saints offense that has nothing going for them today scores a touchdown in the next 2 minutes, get a stop in Atlanta, and then score another touchdown just for Groupie to miss an extra point. I think that would be the amazing thing, It is because you could directly blame Moore for his play calling inability to replace Groupie. Yeah, I mean, even if you take the goal line stands and you leave them there, it still happened, but you add the Groupie field goals, it's a 1-possession game. 1st and 10 here. They're going to Olave. If Olave broke that, man, that could have been a big gain. Gain of 10, though. I think you just got to probably just abuse Olave here, quite frankly, in terms of usage. It's been obviously the go-to target. Shough's going to take off and run. He's going to gain about 10 yards. Almost took out Mason Tipton there. Didn't we have a bye last week? Oh, sure as shit they did. Sure as shit they did, and it did not matter. 1st and 10 from the 34. Falcons sending pressure. Shough's rolling. He's going to throw it. Incomplete. Today is a worse loss than losing to DA in Chicago. Yeah. I mean, that one sucked, but Bears are 8-3. Bears are playing some pretty good football. But yeah, I really I don't disagree with you, man. I think this is the worst one. Oh boy, that's one of those where I'd rather you just try to get it, get out of pressure and throw it away than dump off a fucking 5-yard loss there to Neal. 3rd and 15 coming up probably. What a disaster. This is one of those games you just want it to be over at this point. You gain nothing by watching this. Absolutely nothing. And that one's swatted down. So it's going to be 4th and 15. Got to go for it, obviously. But woof. The little Giants can beat the Saints. This team is so damn frustrating. How do you have the ball 2 times inside the 10 and don't score? I just don't understand. And this might be Kellen Moore's worst game. I think it definitely is his worst game. Joshua for sure. Shough's going to roll, going to throw it. And, oh my God, Dante Pettis. Situational awareness is so fucking important. And this motherfucker, instead of just going through the contact, decides to try to back up and you don't get the first down. I mean, this is why these guys are bench players, but still, catch the ball, go through. Why are you taking a step back? You're going to have to just go through. And again, it's a tough spot. Not a great spot that Tyler's putting him in anyway. I mean, he's got to break a tackle. But that's tough. That is tough. This game's all but over anyway. I just don't know why Pettis is taking a couple steps back, but again, it's not. He might not even break it. But don't take a step back and make the defender's life easier. Falcons probably could just run out the ball here. Like right there, he has a first, and then you're short. And that's game of inches, so. Probably looking at 3 straight Falcons runs right here. First one's a pretty big gain. Gain of about 5. Also, maybe don't run your routes short of the sticks as well. Maybe that's a thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah. I know people are going to be eager to look at Tankathon after this one. I think this will move the Saints to the 3rd pick. So I'm sure people will look into that. Hope Kellen Moore sends half of his check to Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, and the entire Philly defense. Yeah. Who we play next? The Dolphins. Another cupcake game, if you want to call it. 3rd down coming up. In case you're thirsty for more Saints offense, if they get a stop here, we'll be subjected to more of this. It's like a threat at this point. I don't know what happened in that Dallas game. Was it not 21-0 Philly? I took a look and it was 21-21 now. One word, pathetic. I think that's a good word to use. How do we even score against the Dolphins? I don't know. Also, I could so see Waddle cooking this secondary. I don't know, man. If we get that sweet loss at Tennessee, we can move to that top 2 pick, baby. Come on, Cam Ward. Yeah, I mean, there's not a single game on this schedule. Even the ones that look winnable, you can't say that they're a win. This team, there's no guaranteed wins in the NFL anyway. But this team, sure as hell, doesn't earn that cachet to feel like you could say that. They're going to run it again with Algier, and they're going to bottle him up. Did he go out of bounds? Oh, what a fucking dummy. I mean, that's just, to me, that's just stupid shit right there. All right. We'll be subjected to another Saints offensive drive, guys. Good luck. Falcons' use of Bijan is comical. I will never understand it for the life of me. I would give Bijan. All right, so Christian McCaffrey at this stage in his career gets 30 touches a game. Bijan should get 30 touches a game at this rate. I mean, first off, when you draft a guy like that and you have him on his rookie contract, to not utilize him is crazy, unless your goal is to get him to that second contract. But then at that point, that's also fucking stupid. So I don't know. I don't agree with it. All these people celebrating about getting a good draft pick don't realize who's making the pick. I've been saying that, dude. Thank you. I've been saying that for months now. I can't even be excited about saying, oh, they have a top 3 pick, top 2 pick, whatever the fuck it ends up being. Because the dude that selected Peyton Turner in the 1st round is making it. Because the dude that selected Trevor Penning in the 1st round is making it. The dude that thought Isaiah Foskey was going to be good is making that pick. That's the guy. So yeah, that's it's hard to be super ecstatic about that, Maybe we'll be lucky enough to get another field goal attempt. If they do not cut Groupie after today, I don't know. Dante Pettis. We're like a muffed punt away from hitting the trifecta of stupidity today. Got the punt from Pinion. And it is going to take a Saints bounce. Why is he picking that ball up? Why is... Dude, get Dante Pettis the fuck out of here. Get him out of here. What the fuck is he doing? What is he doing? Oh, man. That muff punt was almost on the money. All right, another drive of Saints football, because I know we've just been clamoring for more. Oh, that would have been the cherry on top. I mean, how that ball doesn't get picked off is a testament to Devin Neal. So shout out Devin Neal. But that ball hung in the fucking air for an hour. I mean, that thing almost got lost in the lights of the dome. Jesus. Look at that. Look at that sight on that shot, that like wide shot, just an empty dome. I mean, this is the product. This is what you get. Second and 10. Shough's rolling out. Thrown across his body, and that is caught by Vele. What the fuck? What? All right. All right. We'll take that. We'll take that. That's considered a great play by Vele, I guess. I mean, I thought that thing was getting intercepted. Shough's going to throw it to Olave. He's going to gain about 8. What a fucking catch by Vele, I think, right? He ripped that out of the... God damn. Good hands. A rare sight to behold from Vele. Shough's going to take a shot deep, and that's out of bounds. Was looking for Tipton. Still one more play before the 2-minute warning. We'd love to see them at least get something going here on this final drive. Just as a fan, to see, it will be garbage time, but God knows. Carolina Panthers held this same team healthy to 0 points, by the way. True. I mean, Saints also beat the Panthers, though. The NFL is weird. Like, it's hard to do those because you just never know. Olave comes crashing down. Honestly, I don't know if he got tripped up or if he didn't want to get hit. I'll respect it if he didn't want to get hit, though. I mean, I'm not trying to getting leveled with this game being out of reach. So, all right, 2 minutes left before this game mercifully comes to an end. And the Saints will drop to 2-9. In hindsight, hey, Falcons start getting a couple of wins in here. Maybe they keep Raheem Morris for another year. Wouldn't mind that. Wouldn't mind that one bit. Red Dog Pressure with a super chat says, I always got to give you super chat support, but I have nothing. I'm kind of done. Well, first off, I do appreciate your support. Absolutely. I understand it. I talk about this. I've been saying it the last couple of years, which is like a sad to say, because it means that Saints football has been in the gutter. But I will never blame a Saints fan right now with the way the product is, with the way management is, to detach a little bit. I won't blame you if you do. I will be here every week to talk about the Saints. But man, I get it. I get the just feeling burnt out when the product's not good and there's no end in sight to the pain that we're watching on these Sundays. You know, I look around the league and I see other teams and there is a little bit of optimism. Like, all right, take the Giants, for example. Like, I still think the Giants are in a weird spot, right? Like, I don't love their GM. I don't love their ownership either. Jackson Dart looks pretty awesome. I mean, I know he's missed the last 2 games because of concussion, but he's looked pretty awesome. Or I could even look like, all right, Commanders having a down year, but I know if Jaden's back, if I'm a Commanders fan, they'll be all right. So this is just kind of where we're at. And again, I know this is a rebuild year regardless. So the record to me doesn't matter. The Saints can go 2-15 is fine. You know, when you miss 2 field goals because you don't want to cut your kicker, that bothers me. When you can't get a yard at the goal line, not once, but on 2 separate occasions, that annoys me. So to me, those to me are the ones that I want as the, I don't want to say non-negotiables as a fan, but like those are things to me that I want to see change. T-Mom saying hi, Chris. What's up? 50-50. They don't even cut Groupie this week. I agree. And how sad is that? And I do agree with that, you know? I think that's kind of concerning. Look, I know Kellen Moore is a rookie head coach. However, as the offensive mind, you can go shotgun on the one. You can't go shotgun on the 1 yard line. And the fact players keep their job when they're not doing their jobs. I mean, that to me is the more insulting part for sure. Bright side, Tyler is not the reason we lost this game. No, and I can say that about a lot of players, to be honest. Got to throw here to Olave. I feel like Olave just taking hits at this point for no reason. Hey, guys, at least we have one of the best GMs in the NFL. God damn you. Could have drafted Shough. I'll never forgive this thing. Do we think Shough would have changed the outcome of today? Truthfully, I'm not trying to be an ass. I'm happy for Shough and Browns fans. Like, if, I don't know. Are Browns fans excited about winning today's game? I'm guessing, but I'm happy for him. Like, it's good to get a win, like, for sure. But what would he have changed for this team? It's the same thing. I mean, quite frankly, actually, we don't even know yet. We've seen more of Shough than we have Shough. So, maybe Shough plays better. I really don't know. I think he looked okay today. At least it seems. The team's not losing because of the quarterback right now. There's a lot of things. Got a little flip here. That's a little nifty flip right there to Stoll. Saints are going to have a 2nd and short coming up here. But yeah, also Raiders stink. So, you can only play who's on your schedule, but throws it there to Tipton. Saints are just like going through the motions of this drive right now. It's like, clock be damned, man. We're just trying to get points. Elsewhere, I'm looking at Dallas on a 4th and goal here. And they don't get it. Woof. Yeah, Saints remaining schedule. Dolphins, Bucks, Panthers, Jets, Titans, Falcons. None of those games look daunting. But when you're not good, this is what you got. Just kneel at this point. We're bound for like one more really stupid play. Or who knows? Maybe they'll get to the red zone and they'll stall out again. Red zone offense, I think it's the most underrated thing in the NFL. Like, you don't have success in the red zone, you're not going to win a lot of games. It's just the truth of the matter. Shough's going to take a shot deep. Oh, he's got Vele. Oh my God. I can't wait to see the coach's film on that. If Vele just turns to the wrong shoulder, because he has him. It should be 6. Yeah. I wonder if that's on the quarterback. I mean, on the wide receiver, excuse me. I'm going to look at that again. Those are always tough because you're supposed to, that's one of those you got to be communication-wise on the same page. And looks like Vele was breaking in a little bit before he turned. And if you don't got your hips measured up there, it's tough. What we got here? 2nd and 10. And one more sack for good measure. That's what you want. And Shough looks a little banged up. That's the last thing you want. Last thing you want in a game like this. Oh, that looked painful. Shough's still in, though. 3rd and 17. He's hobbled, man. I mean, yeah, he's hurt. All right, so unfucking believable, man. You lose this game, your quarterback gets hurt on a fucking meaningless drive. Yeah, just pain. Pain all around. It's going to Olave and picked. Mercifully, this game ends. Unreal, man. Ugh. Unreal. Saints are going to lose 24-10. Rough. Rough for sure. And they're going to drop to 2-9. I guess now we're going to kind of turn our attention over to Shough and whether or not he's all right, because if he's banged up, that's not great. I mean, maybe it was just one of those situations in the moment where you're just hurt, but this is rough, man. See what other comments you guys have. We'll get into our post game in about a minute. Let me just get into any of the comments before we get into the post game. Please read the offensive line weakness in run game isn't the tackles. It's tight ends and guards. Our offensive guards are horrible. They can't block. I totally agree with you. We own y'all. Falcons lead all-time series. Something about 24 points. Yeah, we talked. Did we not? We talked about it. I said, so Drew Brees said, if you have 24 points, it should be enough in games. And I was like, that seems kind of low. And this was months ago. And it's not. Like, it's right on the money. So, and look how many the Falcons scored today. 24. Get you the win. Second round, we got to take a guard. Yeah. I agree. Queen House, this is unacceptable. Gail needs to grow, parent fire, buddy. She doesn't care, man. Blair says I have nothing good to say about Moore. Yeah. I agree with you. I mean, at this point, what can you say about this game? I mean, nothing went well for the Saints. I can go through every phase. I can go through every quarter. Nothing. There's not a single thing. And now we got to see what's going on with the quarterback. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll definitely get into it now, though, because God, man, that was a train wreck. That was absolutely a train wreck. So, yeah, let's get into our post game, guys. Let's talk Saints football. Let's talk about this loss. I don't, for the life of me, understand how we got to this point where a team that frankly was on a 5-game losing streak, lost their starting quarterback this week, lost their star wide receiver, how you can end up losing this game in the fashion where you did, where special teams was a joke, where defensively, you had some good moments. You had some good moments for sure, but in the big moment, didn't make the stop. But I'll give the defense a break. In terms of all the phases, the defense gets the most slack cut for them. Offensively, what the fuck was that today? You had a bye week to get yourself ready and feel like this could be a good matchup. I know Falcons pass rush is good, but last week they got torched by Bryce Young and the Panthers. Good matchup to build some confidence. Good matchup to show that your offensive-minded coach can get you steered in the right direction. Didn't see any of that. And for some reason, and I don't know what the reason is, and Lord, man, I would love to get an explanation by Saints ownership, Saints front office. Why is Blake Grupe allowed to not do his job, to cost this team points, and constantly be able to keep his job for the next week? Because even all the things that went wrong for the Saints today, stuffed at the goal line once, stuffed at the goal line twice, not taking advantage of Mason Tipton's kickoff return. If Blake Grupe just makes his 2 fucking field goals, okay, which, by the way, were 38 yards and 47 yards, so we're not asking a whole lot from the fucking dude. If he just makes those field goals, the Saints are in position, even at the end of the game, despite how miserable this game has been, they would have been in position to potentially have a touchdown and 2-point conversion to tie the game and send it into overtime. And that doesn't mean the Saints deserve to win today, because they did not deserve to win today. When you're coached that poorly, when you execute that poorly, you don't deserve to win. But it just goes to show the margins in the NFL are so razor thin. And mistakes like that will always come back to bite you in the ass. And against a poor opponent like this, it just really makes it even more frustrating. you live with it. If you face the Los Angeles Rams, you make mistakes. The Rams are really fucking good. You play a Falcons team off a 5-game losing streak, and this is the result. It's embarrassing. So, my frustration with Groupie, that's there. My frustration with Kellen Moore and the offense just having no creativity and him not knowing what the plan is going to be in the red zone, that's a problem. Not great about that. And also, looking around elsewhere, why can the Saints, for the life of them, not figure out what they want to do with Taysom Hill at this point? If you want to go with Taysom Hill in the goal line, commit to it, run right down their throat. Do not roll out to the right. Do not let him be a passer. This is not going to happen. It wasn't working in his prime. It ain't going to work now. So that drives me nuts. That all falls on the coach for sure. But make no mistake about it. Saints did not deserve to win today. The better team won today, no doubt. And I think we're back into that mode of just when you had a glimpse of hope of saying, hey, beat the Panthers, your rookie quarterback looked good, the rest of the schedule is pretty easy, and you're not thinking playoffs, you're not thinking winning all these games, you're just thinking, hey, can you give me something to look forward to on Sundays? The Saints have, in my opinion, their most disappointing loss of the season, without a doubt. And I won't be getting into QB debates or whether or not you like Brandon Staley, because I don't think Brandon Staley was the problem today. I'm willing to talk Kellen Moore. I'm willing to talk this horrible roster that Mickey Loomis has assembled. And I'm willing to talk about the Keebler Elf Blake Groupie and the shit job he did. And that's about it for me. Because those are the three things that I take away from this game. I take away the fact that Kellen Moore is not good enough. I take away the fact that his roster fucking sucks. And yeah, Saints lost today. That's going to help him get a better draft pick. The guy who has assembled this shitty-ass roster, you're comfortable with him picking top 3? I don't know, man. I don't know. I would not be comfortable about that. So it to me, it always gets all those concerns, they get heightened when you have a performance like this. So pretty frustrating. And that's just kind of where I'm at. So I'm going to let you guys take it from here. I'll get into all your comments and we'll go from there. We've been on here for about 3 hours. A lot of frustration for sure. I've never once in my life sought out a Falcons stream to talk shit. LOL, what a low life. Oh, the guy that came in before. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't even think about the Falcons or the Bucks or the Panthers or all these like NFC South teams. And part of it is because like the NFC South collectively have all agreed, hey, let's just all suck ass. Even the Bucks make the playoffs. Do you expect them to do anything? I sure as hell don't. Yeah, I wouldn't care to do that. We are not tanking. Who, the Saints? Yeah, Saints aren't tanking. They're just bad. Why does Moore refuse to use his running back on the goal line? I don't know. I wish I could give you the answer. I don't know. I really don't know. And all I could say for sure is that Kellen Moore is just maybe not a Devin Neal fan. Now, I know he thinks that the easiest route to getting into the end zone, he thinks is using Taysom Hill in that spot. And maybe he'd be right, but like he wasn't right on that 4th down call to roll out to the right. I did not understand that at all. And I don't understand why the Saints on the second time around were unable to have any strategy. When you fuck up at the goal line on that sequence like they did in the 3rd quarter, the fact that you get a mulligan and you fuck up, I would argue worse because of the botched snap and all that and the QB sneak that didn't work. I think it's just even more embarrassing. So to me, I don't have the answers as to why he didn't want to use Devin Neal, but I just know if something doesn't work, I don't know if I'm going to just keep going back to it. And yet that's what they've done. And it almost feels a little bit like a stubbornness to it. So yeah, that's just kind of where we're at. Man, you got to fire the whole staff. This is ridiculous. I mean, I don't think they're going to fire anyone, but I don't disagree with you. Falcons stunk enough to get all that offensive talent and still garbage. It's the Saints' turn, to be honest. Turn to be what, though? I mean, I think both teams are bad, but yeah. Groupie, man. Kelmore's body language says it all. He's lost and unprepared. I mean, the prepared part, I guess, you put into it when you have a bye week. Which team looked like they had the bye week? Because I would say the Falcons look like they had the bye week. And yet the Falcons lost their quarterback and lost their number one wide receiver this week. They had like 17 fucking guys on the injury report. So, yeah. The run game banks on guards and tight ends running inside. The fact Cesar Ruiz's liability is an issue. You got to make cuts. I mean, Cesar Ruiz stinks. I totally agree with you, man. I couldn't agree more with that. And that's a big part of the problem with the Saints. So we talk about where they'll be picking draft-wise. All right. Yeah, they might have a really good pick. Why are we supposed to get excited? Because the reality is Mickey Loomis has had all these picks, and he's used it on the interior of the O-line or just the O-line in general. And the O-line's not the strength of the Saints. Falcons beat them up in the trenches, at least when it was that way around. You know, not to make excuses for Tyler Shough. Tyler Shough had a whatever day. Like, wouldn't classify it as good, and I wouldn't classify it as horrible. It was just somewhere where it's like, okay. And that's like the worst place to be in, quite frankly. But the Saints offensive line, there's been so many investments there. And I know Fuaga's injured, and I know McCoy's injured, and those are two big investments. But like, invested in Penning, what a whiff that was, and he's gone anyway. Invested in Ruiz, what a whiff. It shouldn't be like this. The offensive line should be a strength, and yet it's not. Lining up in the shotgun on a half-yard line equals Kellen Moore, stellar play calling. Yeah, work to perfection. Work to absolute perfection. Give me Reese and Bell, and maybe Loomis will regain my trust. I don't know what he can do to regain mine, but I like that you're keeping the door open. I like that you're keeping the door open. Moore's play calling is very questionable. Groupie needs to be cut. Need a new punter. Kamara probably needs to retire after the season. Vele is so hit or miss. Taysom is predictable. Yeah, I think he kind of went through it. I'm so interested to see what happens with Alvin. Like, I don't know. I think he might. Who knows? He might be out for the season at this rate. We'll see what the injury status is. I don't want to speculate too much, but yeah, that's a concern in my opinion. I would argue that wide receiver wise, I mean, what other team is rolling out Mason Tipton and Vele as their number 2 and number 3? That just, to me, seems fucking embarrassing. So that's a problem. Make no doubt about it. All right. You got your punters. We got the ball bouncing in the Falcons' favor. I mean, it's bouncing backwards. That's a disaster. He's averaging 35 yards a punt today. So Kai Kroger sucks. Your kicker went 1 for 3 today. He sucks. So yeah, no, you're right. I mean, there's trouble all around. Kellen Moore is trash, buddy. Ruiz ended Breeze's career, and he's only gotten worse since then. And that's sad. 19 should be cut now. I agree. I think Kamara has just been injured, but yeah, I think he may retire soon, sadly. I mean, I think he's got one more year left on his contract and physical position. If he were to retire, I wouldn't blame him at all. Wouldn't blame him at all. Groupie killed our momentum, possibly. Lame ass play calling on head coach. Ruiz, another poor game. Groupie be gone, please. Staying in the hunt for early pick. I mean, if you want an early pick, Groupie will keep you in that hunt. That's for sure. That's for damn sure. I mean, he's been tremendous. So if you're trying to tank, get yourself a kicker who can't make kicks. The sliver of excitement we had from 2 weeks ago lasted exactly 15 minutes today. It did, yeah. I mean, it got snuffed out so quickly, and I'm so frustrated. And I'm not going to say shame on me, because I did think it would get eradicated quickly. I didn't think this feeling was going to last much longer. And actually, I'm kind of glad the Saints had their bye week, because then you're like, all right, you got to linger in the bye week of the unknown. And the unknown is always better than the known in terms of in your head. Like, you get excited about that. But yeah, I mean, after the first quarter, they looked ill-prepared on offense. Like, they were going backwards on offense. So yeah, it's tough to get excited over that. Telling you Kellen Moore isn't good. I'm not disagreeing with you, man. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I don't have anything good to say about Kellen Moore. And it's not me trying to be an ass. It's kind of how I feel. Man, if Groupie just made those field goals, man. Oh, man. Look, it would have technically been a game, one possession, all that, but fucking hell, wouldn't have mattered at this point with the way they played. But yeah, I need him cut tomorrow morning. Crazy that Shough still looking the best player on offense. Sadly, he did actually. He did. You're right. Hard to give anyone really credit for a performance by like this, but yeah, probably like you're not giving it to your running back room. You're not giving it to your wide receiver room. You're not giving it to the tight ends. You're definitely not giving the O-line. So it's like, well, who was the best player offensively? Probably your quarterback. Probably don't mean much, but yeah, probably him. It's just tough to get excited about a performance like that, though, because even with him, like, you didn't get a whole lot today. So, such is life, man. Such is life. This is one game needed to win for team and fans. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think this was a game to earn fans' commitment for the rest of the season. I kind of do feel like that. Like I'm not going anywhere, obviously, but I mean, would you be surprised if some Saints fans kind of just like pump the brakes now for the rest of the season? I wouldn't be. And some probably did before today anyway, but I think for, specifically today, a win over the Falcons, no, it doesn't win you anything in the grand scheme of things, but like you put together back-to-back wins, you make your fans feel a little bit more invested for the next week, and maybe you start to build something, but no, you had one of your worst performances of the season, maybe your worst. Gail, quote unquote, said Mickey's been doing a great job. She said Mickey's doing a great job. She also said it's ridiculous to think that he should be fired. Let's pull up what the fuck she said, because it's hard to get excited about the team when this woman is doing saying the shit she's saying. All right, it may not be what fans want to hear, but as far as firing Mickey Loomis, that's ridiculous. He does a great job. Mickey said from this beginning, of the season, I understand how fans feel. I really do. But we told everyone at the beginning this was going to be a tough year, and it's been a tough year. You don't think Mickey Loomis is losing sleep at night over all this? He is. It's hard. It's not an easy job. It's not like he's sitting on his butt, not worrying about things. Bro, I don't care if he's losing sleep or not. I'm losing sleep over this team. You're losing sleep over this team. I hope the GM's losing sleep over this team, but it's his job to put together a good roster, and he doesn't do that. It's his job to get the right head coach. And if he does whiff on Kellen Moore, and I'm going to use if, I'll give Kellen time, even though I'm out on Kellen Moore. I'm going to give him time just as a fan. Whiffing on back-to-back coaches is acceptable. Drafting Isaiah Foskey is acceptable. Drafting Trevor Penning is acceptable. Drafting Peyton Turner is acceptable. Drafting Kendre Miller is acceptable. Drafting Jake fucking Hayner is acceptable. Signing certain players that, quite frankly, have not been worth the money for this team over the last couple of years, that ain't going to cut it. Trading 2 picks for Vele, what the fuck was that all about? I mean, didn't make sense when you did it. It looks even worse now. So this thought that we can't criticize the GM when he's done a horrible job is laughable. And I will always be happy that I saw the Saints win the Super Bowl and love that. But like, that was 16 fucking years ago. 16 years ago. Like, good God. Life was so much different then. My hairline was much better then. I mean, good God, 16 years ago is a lifetime for some people, sadly. And that's what you're going to hang on to. And in the NFL, that is such a long time. So I don't know. I understand why Gail goes to the lengths she does. And I'm not saying Gail should go to the media and be like, oh, Mickey Loomis fucking sucks. I don't need them to be the Jets. I don't need them to be the Jets where Woody Johnson goes out there and says this nonsense. You don't have to do that. But don't slap the fans in the face with this nonsense. I'd rather you just say nothing. But that's where we're at. This game is a perfect example of why I question Gail Benson saying that Mickey Loomis is doing a good job. I'm not going to say he's the worst team ever, but how can you say he's doing a good job? Why? Other teams would kill to have Mason Tipton as their wide receiver 3. It's hard for Shough to even do anything when he gets taken out every big play for a guy with 1 foot out of the league. Yeah, I mean, it's got to stop at some point. We can't even assess whether or not Shough can be a good red zone quarterback because he's never fucking in. So, yeah. And that's why, so I'll just be honest. Fuck it. I don't really care at this point. It is what it is. They want to get butthurt, whatever. Earlier this week, there was a report that maybe the Saints would have like mini camp and training camp in Monaco. And I was like, man, that's a slap in the face to the fans. And I had a certain Saints podcaster be like, oh, how's it a slap in the face to the fans? And if this person ever comes across, they know who they are because they never fucking tweet. They only tweet at me for some reason. And I don't understand it. You're a grown man with kids. Find something else to do, but fucking pick on me every day of your life. But he's like, how is it a slap in the fan in the face? A slap in the face to fans. Bro, your product right now sucks. The last thing New Orleans fans want to hear is that you might go take mini camp to fucking Monaco so you can get a free vacation, Gail. So to me, that is a slap in the face to fans. Now, you can go be tweeting about me all you want again because you're fucking annoying, but like, I just don't understand how people don't get frustrated with that. When the product's this bad, and it is very bad, and you have spent the last 7 days defending Mickey, talking about maybe going to France, and yeah, they're going to have a game in Paris, and I think that is cool. I know some people don't want them expanding the game internationally, but I do think that is cool. But a mini camp in Monaco, a training camp in Monaco, I know that's been now debunked, allegedly. But you read the report Jeff Duncan put out. It was great work by Jeff Duncan. He did a great job. I mean, the fact that she's even like entertaining that idea is hilarious. So, and by the way, going to Monaco ain't going to fix the problems for this team. It's not going to fix the problem that the roster sucks. It's not going to fix the problem that you employ a kicker that can't make kicks. All I heard was how we were going to beat the Falcons all week, shaking my head. Yeah, you know, it's funny. So in Ted Lasso, they say it's the hope that kills you. And I'm starting to believe that they are right. Because I was hopeful for this game. And I don't know if the Saints are going to win this one, to be quite frank. But I didn't think it was going to look this bad. And a double-digit loss where the way you lost, man. 6 points left at the field goal kicker. 7 points left on a red zone trip. Another 4 points left on a trip that you had to settle for a field goal because of the grounding call, which, by the way, wasn't supposed to be grounding. Thanks, refs. You know, it's just annoying. Upside to Monaco training camp is you could leave Groupie there and he could become a goat farmer. Sure, he'd be great at that. I will say, fuck it. I don't care if I put him on the spot. He might not be a Saint longer. So I was at Saints-Broncos last year. Saints got their ass kicked. And the next day, Blake Groupie was at the casino and he was playing virtual roulette. And right there, I was like, I can't trust this guy. If you're going to play roulette, at least play normal roulette. Why are we playing virtual roulette? And that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And the funny thing is there was two dudes who were in the casino that day for the Saints after they got their ass kicked. It was Blake Groupie, who maybe will get cut tomorrow. And it was Isaiah Foskey, who I don't know what he's doing. Let's see what he's up to. I know the Bengals picked him up, but is he doing anything for them? No, he does. All right. Yeah, he's got no stats on the season. So, all right. At least he sucks for everyone, not just the Saints. But yeah. In Moore's defense, he lost his starting running back and kicker sold him out, but head coach expected to adjust, and he's not done that all year. He's so predictable, it's kind of scary. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, again, I'll cut him. I'll give him grace for AK going down and his kicker being ass, but like the offense is predictable, and it doesn't seem like he adjusts well to the situations that have been thrown towards him. Halftime adjustments didn't. I mean, look, they were moving the ball in the second half, so maybe that was the halftime adjustment for sure, but let's back it up. Let's go to that Rams game a couple weeks ago. We argued about like, oh, how poor their red zone offense was. And man, you had a bye week. Like what did you work on during the bye week? It sure as hell wasn't your red zone offense. So I think that's where I get frustrated. I can understand the defense though. I get it, man. AK going down probably fucks up a lot of shit, man. So yeah. Kel Moore on AK says we'll have to evaluate. We'll have to let that go through the process of the full evaluation tomorrow and see what the outline is. All right. Well, not surprised, but Kellen Moore was asked about Blake Groupie and his 8 misses this year. Said, that's a frustrating one. Really, dude? I get it. You got to be politically correct, but, you know, would rather just say he's being cut tomorrow. You ran the ball better without AK, no excuses. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And I don't want to make excuses for Kellen Moore, by the way. You guys could go through. We've been streaming for 3.5 hours. I have probably spent 3.5 hours bitching about Kellen Moore. So, yeah. Bro, we really wasted the first few years of the post-Breeze era for sure. I mean, the rebuild should have been happening. It is now starting. And that to me is the scary part. There's going to be a lot more bad years before we get to enjoying stuff. We lose with AK, bro, regardless, so we can't really give grace for that. No, that lose regardless. Yeah, for sure. To be quite honest, I could put like some Saints greats on this team, and I don't know if they're going to win the game. Like, that's how bad I thought the coaching was today. Doing too much on the inch line. Yeah, look, so they did a run zone option with Shough. They get to the 1. They did a QB sneak with Shough. You gain about half a yard. Run it again. Run it again. You bring Taysom in. You go shotgun. Snap goes over his head. He throws it away. They call grounding. And, yeah, that's just where we're at. How can we have the ball on the 1 yard line twice in 2 separate possessions at home and fail to score? Was the last time we managed to do it against the Falcons, the fake victory formation? Yeah, it feels that way. Sure feels that way, man. So, yeah. Sneaky Pete Carmichael was better than Ellen Moore. Prove me wrong. I don't know. I don't even want to get into it. Like, they're both ass, but at least Pete Carmichael had some good years, I guess, as an OC, but he wasn't calling the plays in the good years. The years of him calling plays didn't love it. With Kellen's play calling, kind of hard to get a good feel for either quarterback at this point. Yeah, I mean, I said it before. Like, I want to see, because one of my knocks on Rattler, because I think Rattler developed a lot over the last year. I thought like he ran better. I thought took less sacks. Rattler struggled in the red zone. I could go back before Rattler. Derek Carr, biggest flaw of his career, I think, is he struggled in the red zone. We're not even seeing anything from Shough in the red zone, frankly, because we're getting into the red zone and the Saints are saying, all right, it's Taysom time. And I'd be cool with it if they had a better package for what they're doing there. Rattler looks better, period. I don't care to get into Rattler conversations. You guys want to argue about Rattler? Go ahead. You guys know where I'm at with that. I'm not arguing about it. I think Rattler's a cool dude. He's a high-end backup in the NFL. I don't know why we're caping for Rattler at this point. Or Shough. We'll see what he does over the last. We got 6 more games left this year. Yeah, I'm exhausted, period, but I'm definitely exhausted with the quarterback conversation because, quite frankly, if you think that's what lost in the game today, I don't know what to tell you. You had a kicker leave 6 points at the door, and you had a coach who couldn't figure out what the fuck he wanted to call at the goal line. So when you talk about why they lost, that's why they lost, to be quite honest. Look, that's just kind of where we're at as a Saints team. And I can look at this for a lot of games. I go back earlier this season. I would argue, which game was it that drove me up a wall? Patriots game, they had a really good shot. Bills game, remember they called that trick play and Olave threw an interception. So red zone offensive play calling has been bad. It's been bad with both quarterbacks. And, you could argue over it. I don't think that's why they're losing. I think the coaching just stinks. All right, so I'll get a couple more comments here, guys, and then I'm going to go because my voice is shot to all hell. David says, realistically, what has to happen to make the playoffs in the near future? That's a great question, David. Well, you need to know if you have a good head coach. I don't know if you do. You need to have a 2017 draft class at this point. You're so deprived of talent. Like, the tight end room sucks. Running back, I think you need 2 running backs. I think you need another wide receiver. I think you need maybe 2 wide receivers. I think you need help on the defensive line, especially defensive tackle. I think you use some juice there. I think you can use another linebacker maybe, unless Stutzman ends up developing well over the next couple of weeks. I think you need another offensive guard. Maybe you need 2 offensive guards. You might need a replacement for Eric McCoy because he's always banged up. So you need so much. I don't want to sound bleak because like the NFL could turn on a dime, but historically the teams that have had those overnight changes, and I'll bring you 2 examples, the Patriots this year, and I'll go a couple of years ago when the Texans hired DeMeco Ryans and they drafted CJ Stroud. You need that marriage of coach and quarterback. And I don't know if the Saints have the quarterback right now. I don't feel good about the head coach right now. So I don't think playoffs are in the near future. And if by near future, we're talking the next year or 2, I don't see it. But a good draft can change things. Another year of head coaching maybe opens things up for Kellen, and maybe Kellen would feel a little bit more confident if he had his personnel. But I don't like the fourth down decisions he makes. I don't like the red zone calls that he comes up with. And I don't like the guy who's assembling the roster for the coach with the play sheet. So, that's just kind of where I'm at. And I really don't see playoffs in the future at all. I really don't. It's more the play caller, Nussmeier. It's more Kellen Moore's calling the plays. So there you kind of have it. All right. Anyway, guys, it has been 3.5 hours of streaming. I love you all very much. You guys have been awesome this entire time. I apologize that the Saints stink. I wish we had better football to talk about today. Frankly, we didn't. Hopefully the Saints cut Blake Grupe tomorrow. Regardless of what they do, we'll have you covered here at Buku Media. So make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. I hope you guys enjoy Sunday Night Football. Rams-Bucks should be a pretty good game. And we'll have more coverage here on the Straight Up Saints podcast, the destination for the WhoDat Nation.